Hey, welcome to the Buy-in Income Summit. I am so excited to be here. Drop in the chat right now, like, where are you coming from? I want to see where you coming from. I'm used to people from all around the world. Like, drop some places of where you guys are coming in from. I am excited about this summit because I believe this may be my first summit of the year, y'all. And so I typically want to give and over deliver and give y'all just a ton of information to be able to use. And so I'm excited about where these next 3 days are headed. So I see Ohio in the house. I see Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama. If my circle of investors are in the room, drop some red circles. Let me know you in the house today. If my protege cousins are in the room, drop some ones in the chat. If this is your first time ever hearing me and just you joined because you saw an ad or whatever, drop some 10s in the chat, okay? Like, stand out. I need to be able to see you stand out. Now, for those of you who's dropping 10s in the chat, I just want to prepare you that I probably can get a little spicy, okay? But trust and believe that everything that I'm teaching you guys, everything I'm sharing, I want to see you win in real life. So it may not be comfortable to hear some of the things that we're going to talk about and some of the things we're going to teach on. But because I have to remain true to who Terica Lynn Smith is, I have to give you guys the raw, unapologetic truth. Okay, if you're okay with that, put good in the chat. If you okay with that, if you good with spicy, you good with the raw truth, like, just put good in the chat. I want to know that you guys are good. So with this summit, right, I have a few expectations. I need for you to not just be here to collect information and do nothing with it. Is that fair? Just put yes in the chat if that's fair. I don't want you just to be an information collector. I need for you to be an investor. We need more investors taking territory. So the information we're about to give you for the next 72 hours is not for you to keep to yourself and do nothing with. I don't know about you guys, but I would never sit in a class. I just heard Michael say we're going to be here for, 6+ hours within the next 3 days. I would never sit in a class that I did not intend to use the information. And so if you can say, Coach T, I want the roadmap. I want to be able to start this real estate journey. Just drop some fire in the chat and just let me know that you're serious here. Like, let me know you're going to apply the information that we're giving you guys. So for those of you who's like, okay, so what does buy-in income mean? Whenever I titled this summit, I did it on purpose because we're so used to buying things that I believe that each and every last one of you should know that you can buy income. Somebody put, I can buy income in the chat. I can buy income. And from this day forward, I need for you to say it every single day. I can buy income. I can buy income. I don't have to work for it every day of my life. I don't have to use my hard-earned hands to be able to take in new income. I can buy income, okay? I don't know about you guys, but for me, that was a huge revelation because I'm like, yo, you can buy income? Like, why has nobody ever told me that? Like, growing up, being in foster care, just going through all of these things, I never heard people say they were buying income. I heard people say, I'm gonna buy a car. I heard people say they're gonna go buy an outfit. I have heard people say that they're gonna go buy some food. I have heard people say they're about to go buy some movies. I heard people say they're about to get the new J's. I've never heard anybody growing up saying, I'm about to go buy income. If you never heard that, just let me know I'm not by myself. Put a 1 in the chat if you've never heard anybody say growing up as a child, I'm gonna go buy some income. That's like something, it sounds like something you can just go pick up at a store, right? Like, I'm gonna go buy some income. So this title is very specific and it's intentional because everybody that I speak to, everybody that I come in contact with, I want for them to know that you can buy income. You can buy income. You don't just have to, you don't just have to work every single day. One of the things I will not do for you guys on this 3-day summit is hype you up. I am not here to entertain you. I am an educator, okay? If you do nothing with the information, you have been entertained. If you go out and use the information that I'm giving you, you have been educated. So I would prefer to educate you, not entertain you. So forgive me if I'm gonna give you a lot of meat and potatoes because I need to see that you're going to go and apply the information that we've given you. So for those of you who do not know, you're probably like, oh my gosh, who is this woman? I am Terica Lynn Smith. I am a woman of God. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. My work has gotten me an invitation to the White House. I own a community where I place my children's names on the street signs. I've been doing this for over 22 years. I've owned, managed, and operated over 1,000 real estate transactions and properties. I just want to let that sit right there. I'm not teaching you guys based off of a theory. I'm not teaching you guys based off of YouTube. I'm not teaching you guys based off of Google or Chat GPT. I'm teaching you guys based off of me being in the trenches for the past 22 years. So I'm giving you guys what I've come into contact with, the experiences that I've had, the things I had to learn, the opportunities that passed me by. I'm teaching you from being inside of the trenches. Okay, so your coach is not someone who is just an influence. I just had a conversation with my business partner. I'm like, yo, this teaching online, it is a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get that people need it, and I get how important it is. But when you are a real estate investor in real life, and by daytime I'm at the properties and I'm dealing with contractors and I'm dealing with my staff, and by nighttime I'm on an internet teaching you guys about what I do on a daily basis, that is a lot of hats to put on. And so I just want you guys to know that you're learning from someone who has already today. I've been like 6 o'clock this morning, I hit the ground. We're about to hit 6 o'clock now. That's 12 hours straight, and I got another 3 hours with you guys. So I don't want you to take for granted the information and who it's coming from. This means that this is important to me, right? I am the owner of the 5-day property challenge. Guys, if you've never heard of my 5-day property challenge, it has changed thousands of students' lives all around the world. It is 5 intensive days of learning. Like today, you're going to get the foundation. You'll get kind of like the roadmap. When you do a 5-day challenge with me, you get the implementation, right? So this is going to be a lot of information overload, and you're going to be like, yo, what is my next step? What is the natural next step? I've did these 72 hours. They have been phenomenal. So what can I do next? Because information that is not used just turns into confusion. So I know that if I have 3 days to teach you guys as much as I possibly can, I believe 90% of you are going to have questions. And I will tell you this, there's going to be some of you, like my circle of investors, there are going to be some of you that come with me on this journey. And there's going to be some of you that will not be able to come. Your mindset is going to make room for you in the room that I'm in. If you have a bad mindset, you have a negative mindset, you're probably not going to like me. Somebody put favor in the chat. Drop favor. Now, I want to talk about favor real quick, because when you look at this picture of Terica Lynn Smith, this is a picture of favor. And favor is not fair, but it surely feels good. This is a picture of someone who received no handouts, who received no inheritance. This is a picture of a woman who was a teenage mom who went through foster care. This is a picture of a woman that had to take every single brick that was thrown at her and build the empire that she has today. You're looking at someone who was homeless up under a bridge with her baby as a teenage mom and trying to figure out how I can put a roof over her head. Some of you got some favor in this room that you just have not tapped into because you don't know the anointing that's on your life. So when you look and you see someone like myself and you like, oh my gosh, she has it made and she's living this great life. No, the only reason why I stand before you is because I am a kingdom-made millionaire, not a self-made millionaire. Everything that I do, I owe it to God. I give praise, I give honor. None of this is possible without God at the forefront of my business. God is my CEO. So if that offends you, you probably want to leave now, because I will be talking a lot about God, right? But I know what it feels like not to know the first step. I know what it feels like to be, like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? I know what it feels like to need A all the way to Z. I know all of those emotions because I had to go along the journey and figure this part out. And so what I've learned along the way, if I can be honest with you guys, is I would not trust anybody teaching me online who do not have receipts. A real coach, a real mentor in real life have receipts. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. But my receipts, you can Google some of my success, right? And I'm not saying everything on Google is true. What I'm saying is don't just trust Terica Lynn Smith because you see an image and you see fancy words. Trust me because I'm about to give you this information, and trust me because I've done this and I've went ahead of you, and trust me because I'm not just talking to you about a theory or an idea. I'm talking to you from proof that I have in real life. So when I look at the properties that I own right now, I'm showing you guys right now, drop in the chat, 980,000 gross with 2 buildings on this image. 980,000 gross. Drop that in the chat. 980,000 gross. That don't even scratch our portfolio. But let me tell you something. I don't give you those numbers to brag. I show you these numbers because you can be doing the exact same thing. My goal is for you to understand this is how you buy income. I looked at 104 units. We underwrited the deal. Now, some of you, and this is where, you know, the room matters. The rooms that you enter are very important. It's because some of you cannot go out and get portfolios like this on your own right now. Maybe you don't have enough experience. Maybe you don't have the credit. Maybe you don't have the resources, whatever the case may be, right? And so when I look at the investments that I have, I can walk into the bank and ask for millions of dollars because I have a footprint. I have a path that has left receipts. I have this portfolio. When they ask to see my personal financial statement, shows the amount of real estate that is owned by me. So of course the bank would trust me with millions of dollars. But what happens is, you may not, Tara, be able to go get $1 million on your own. Michelle, you may not be able to go get $1 million on your own. But Nita, you may not be able to go get $1 million on your own. But imagine if you was partnered with someone who had the knowledge, who had the experience, who had the financial resources, who had the credit resources, and who had the opportunity. Now my experience becomes your experience, because when we go into a partnership, we enter into a covenant that means that what is mine is yours and what is yours is mine. That's why you got to be careful with who you deal with. And when you know that you are, like, when you know who you know, you can't just be connecting with anybody. When you know who you know, you can't just be connecting with anybody. You see, I am very strategic with my partnerships, right? You have to go through a 5-day property challenge. You have to go through circles of investors before you can even ever sit at my table. Why? Because I need time to be able to discern you. One day you may be showing me one way, but the next day you may be doing something different. So one of the things that I pride myself on is that I have a process before I allow people to partner with me. So if you can visualize, man, I may not be able to go acquire this portfolio by myself. Some of you may have a deal right now that you need to put before me, but you don't know really how to get there. Well, the way that you get there is by starting right here on this roadmap. Somebody put right here in the chat. And then you see that I build new construction homes and a developer. Guys, I do this in real life. I just left the site today, okay? In fact, I was at all of these sites today. This is what it means to be in real estate in real life. Okay, we just put another one of these new construction homes under contract. Full price offer, $189 with $5,000 in closing. A perfect deal. Okay, perfect deal. Buyer wanted, regular price, appraisal is strong. Everything, we've raising property values in areas where property values haven't been raised in over a decade. So when I tell you we have fought to get these properties at the price that they are and being able to get them to appraise for the at the rate that we need them at, this has been a journey, but we have been very successful. And then you see me partnered with David Shands. He is a wonderful man, great business partner, very comical. He's a great guy. He has a podcast called The Social Proof. David is the reason I sit before you guys today. I knew nothing about an influence. I didn't even know that was a job. I knew nothing about teaching on the internet. I didn't even know that was a thing. But I've helped him make so much money in real estate. He has over 100 doors. He's invested a ton of money with me. And because of it, he said, T, I need for you to share this. There's so many people on the internet that are misleading people, but you're really doing this in real life. And I can honestly say with my heart, you did this for me and my family. Now, I believe reputation is what y'all give me. Character is what I give me. So I'm going to always be more concerned with my character because I have to sleep with that at night. A reputation can change at any moment. So who you see right now, who you do business with in the future is who you get all the time. My character is way more important than keeping up a reputation. There's times I've made a lot of money in real estate, and there's times I've gotten a haircut in real estate. So yes, you can lose money, and yes, you can make money. But can I be honest with you guys? It will not happen overnight. It will not happen overnight. If you're here looking for an overnight success, it will not happen. Can I just burst that bubble right now? But if I'm talking to some wealth transfers, okay, the ones that understand that the transfer of wealth is from the impatient to the patient. I'm talking to the people that's not looking for instant gratification, but it's okay with delayed gratification. That means if you're doing a fix and flip, I want for you to prepare for the worst. If you're doing a real estate development, I want you to prepare for the worst. If you're doing a multifamily deal, I want to prepare you for the worst. Why? Because if I can scare the hell out of you right now, then you can go ahead and save a ton of money by not investing in real estate. But if you say, hey, T, I am good. I am not operating in fear. I'm going to operate in the authority that I know God has given me. When you talk like that, now we're cousins, okay? Now we can be friends. Now we can be business partners because I just don't want nobody having an unrealistic expectation about any of this, okay? And just for disclaimer purposes, I want to share this, and I'm only going to say it one time, okay? The content shared here, including potential earnings and success stories, is for example purposes only. All right. Individual outcomes will vary based on factors such as your experience, your skills. All of this is based off of what you're doing. Okay. And what you're willing to put in. This is not typical and it's not guaranteed. That is the truth. And the reason why results are not typical, can I just be honest? Put yes in the chat if I can be honest. The reason why results are not typical because people are inconsistent. You say today I want to be a real estate investor, and then tomorrow you want to sell life insurance, and then the next day you're going to be a real estate agent, and then the next day you're going to school to be a nurse, and then the next day you're going to be in billing coding. That's why the results are not typical, right? Because you're not consistent. I've been consistent. I've been up against several recessions and I'm still standing. I want for you guys to be able to stand after that. So this is called social proof, right? You can hear me talk about all the people I've helped or whatnot, but Portia is a story that I share quite often. And if you've ever heard me speak, I talk about Portia because she's in our circle of investors. But guess what she did? She went through the 5-day property challenge and she challenged herself. She did this for herself, not for me. I would have never knew who Portia was had she not gone through the 5-day property challenge and ended up as a circle of investor partner. I would have never known that. But because she put in the work, she stood out to me. Because she put in the work, I was able to be a partner with her. I remember we was doing the reopening, the new management reopening at that apartment complex at the bottom. It's 104 units. And she brought her husband, she brought her mama, she brought her family, and they all was so shocked because when she first got started, they said, you better make sure it's not a scam. That's what they told her. And they told me that whenever I was at the event, okay? They said, I was telling her, don't get scammed. And I said, that's the right thing to tell her. I said, but now that you're here, you can see, touch, and feel these bricks. How do you feel? They said, oh, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. That's the type of character you want to have. That's the type of character. Portia said, I don't know why it's just hitting me today, but this makes 106 doors for us this year. Again, thank you for exposing me. Somebody drop exposing in the chat. Thank you for exposing me to unlimited opportunities. exposing. Some of you just needed the right exposure. You haven't gotten the right exposure, so that's why you're still stuck. This room will give you the exposure that you need, the access that you need to be able to really do this at a high level, okay? So who is this class for, right? Like, I get asked that a lot. Like, Buying the Income Summit, like, who is this class for? This is for you if you've been watching, researching, saving posts, bookmarking things, saying one day I'm going to do this. This is for you, okay? You want to get started in real estate, but you don't want to feel overwhelmed, right? You've been doing a lot of researching, but you still haven't made a move. Some of you are like, I call you webineurs, okay? Like an entrepreneur, but a webineur. You're constantly on the web, sitting in these classes and doing nothing with the information. You want to build another stream of income. How many of you on here want another stream of income? Just put me in the chat. And if you can't type in the chat, you already fell in my class. I told you I get a little spicy sometimes. Why is it important to follow direction? Because that's what travels behind you. If you have a rebellious spirit already saying, I'm not about to type that, I don't feel like typing that, you're going to be uncomfortable around me. Because I do the hard things even when I don't feel like it, okay? So you've been looking for another stream of income. How many of you would say, Coach T, what I need, and the reason why I haven't started yet is because I need clarity. I need the strategy, like I need the roadmap. I need to know what my next steps are, Coach T. How many of you want a path that fits your life, not everybody else's? Because we know real estate is not a one-size-fit-all class. So like, I need, Coach T, I need to find my own path. Like, that's what I need. Like, everything is so broad, but I really don't know what's for me. How many of you would say, I need a coach who has actually invested and scaled a multi-million-dollar portfolio? Just put a 1 in the chat. I need a coach. I need someone who will be able to handhold me with their team and be able to show me how to really do this. I like to be alongside people that's actually doing this. If that's you, just put a 1 in the chat, right? I tell you this, you have the desire. It's very present on the inside of you because you're in class right now and you're here today. But the part that you're missing is the direction. That's why you're here right now, because the direction, the roadmap, everything like that is very important to you, right? If you hear, like when I talk on any one of these slides and you feel like I'm talking to you and this is what you need and this is what you came here for, I want you to write it in the chat just like that. This is what I came here for. Like, let's practice it right now. This is what I came here for. Because some of us are in a season, y'all, where we're going to have to do this scared. And I talk a lot about this to my circle of investors. I didn't get to where I was because I wasn't scared. I got to where I was because I knew what it was. I already knew what was behind me. And I did not want to go back there. I knew that I was going to get some blows. And long as I withstand them, I'll be able to get to the other side. I knew these things. I knew it was going to be a challenge, and I was okay for that. So I believe real estate is the fight that shapes your life, right? It's the fight that shapes your story. What do I mean when I say that, right? Every family has a fight. Some it's poverty, some is generational curses, some is fear, some is fighting because you got to keep starting over every single generation. Real estate is one of the fights that can change your story. Real estate is one of the fights that can change your story. Buying property is not just about buying a house, y'all. Can we just agree with that? It's not about buying just a building. It's not even just about buying income. It's about becoming the person who knows how to solve a problem, who knows how to manage money and create a budget, but also sees opportunity and creates stability. You see, when I first got started in real estate, I thought I had to be a real estate agent, which you do not. I ended up failing the real estate exam 7 times, y'all. Why? Because I had no clue what the heck them people was talking about. I was not exposed to real estate. So I was the ones that was asking questions, right? I'm sorry, what is a mortgage? I'm sorry, what is an encroachment? I'm sorry, what is an easement? I'm sorry, what is a lien? They got tired of hearing my sorries, but you know what? I did not care, because up to this point, I had to fight to come from up under a bridge being homeless. So this had to work, or it had to work. Somebody put, it has to work this time. It has to work this time. This is, I don't know how many times this is for you, but it has to work this time. This is what I came here for. I know I got to fight, but I just need to fight right. I've been fighting and losing. I need to fight with some people who have went through some battles. I need to fight with some people that know how to get to the other side. So when I say real estate, it's the fight that will shape your story. It will shape an entire generation. An entire generation. The fight is not against the market. The fight is not against, flesh. Right? The fight is against fear that's been holding you back and keeping you stuck. The fight is against your negative family that you keep trying to pull up and they keep pulling you down. The fight is against yourself because it's you versus you. The fight is going to be a fight that calls you to have a showdown. Period. I remember telling my family, this gonna sound harsh, but it's the truth. Hey guys, I'm building an ARC. What is the ARC? My real estate portfolio. I want for all of y'all to take y'all tax return like I'm doing and come invest with me. Crickets. Hey guys, I'm about to build the ARC. I would love for my family who's struggling to come with me. I just found out what investors are doing and I would love to have you with me. Crickets. Family group message, crickets. Hey, I'm having a meeting at my house. I would love to sit down and set some goals with you guys. And I would love to see where you're struggling at financially so I can help you with your finances. Crickets. So I began building my ARC. Then it was time to close the door because the storm came. And then it was time to open the door because the storm was over. And then I take a look around and I'm a kingdom-made millionaire. And then I take a look around and I still see poverty that's plaguing generations and generations to come. Some of you are going to have to build this ark without them. Some of you know that you're going to have to build this ark without them. They're not going to understand the assignment. They're not going to even believe in you. If Jesus had to leave his own town because they did not believe he was a healer, what in the heck make you think you're going to save your entire family? They got to want to be saved. So when you let go of that and stop trying to drag everybody on an assignment that God has given you, we up here doing the Abraham. We bringing every single Lot inside of our family with us. God didn't tell us to bring Lot. He said your family. So when God spoke to Lot again, he said your descendants. Sometimes it's going to get real specific when God is talking to you because you may not hear him clearly because you got this heart that want to reach out and save everybody. But it's not your job to save them. They're in their own wilderness and they got their own things that they got to go through with God. But you are in a season where it's time to be elevated because you've been obedient, because you've done everything God has required, because you took the faith move and because you started walking and because you've been obedient and because you've done it. It is time for your generational blessings, but you can't hear the generational blessings when you got a lot that's attached to you. So some of you are going to have to release the lot that is attached to you and be 1000% okay with saying, hey, you take the better half, Lot. I'll go this way because I know with me and God, I'm undefeated. You may choose the better land because the water look like it's flowing over there and it look like the soil is healthy. But I know I'm fertile soil. I know no matter where I go, things are going to grow. How do I know that? Because every time he took a step, he built the altar and gave praise. So some of you right now, you just got to get from attached and out of alignment and out of that bad business deal, that bad partnership that you entered into that's been keeping you back, period. It's a fight. It's a fight. I remember watching the movie Lionheart, right, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it was such a great movie, but I watched it as a kid and it was one of my favorite movies. And then I started watching it as an adult and it spoke to me a little bit different. It spoke to me in a way that I never expected. And it became the unexpected mentor. I said, my God, this is a man that's fighting to get out of the army to go and check on his brother. He has served. He have dedicated his life and did what he needed to. And all he asked was for a few days to go be with his brother who was set on fire. And the people who had the control of him said, no, you cannot go. So he was faced with a very hard decision. And the decision was, do I stay here, right? And I don't go and check on my brother, or do I leave? And so as I'm watching this movie, I understand that some of us are not going to have the path laid out to us. It's not going to be laid out all the way. Some of us need to be in rooms like this so we can get a roadmap. So as I'm watching a movie and he decides, hey, I'm leaving, I'm going to find my brother. By the time he made it to his brother, y'all, this man had no money. He went from swimming in the ocean to being on a boat, working at the bottom of the fire pit, getting paid pennies, being told he can't do something else, jumping off the boat, swimming to some piece of land where he didn't even know where he ended up. Some of us in life are in places we don't even know how we ended up. But if we pay attention to our track record, it'll probably give us some insight, right? So as he's headed in this direction, he don't have no money. What can he do in this foreign place? This place, he came from a whole entire different country to a new place. So what did he have to do? He didn't have any money. He used what he had. Somebody put, I used what I have. He had Mike and he had Ike. Mike and Ike, that's what he had, okay? He started with $5 fights. He went from fighting people on the street because he knew, I know how to fight. Some of you know what you need to do right now. You just got to use Mike and Ike. That means that whatever your $5 fight is going to be in your life, use it. If it's your expertise because you're an accountant, use it. If it's your MBA license, use it. If it's your contractor's license, if you have that, use it. If it's your gift of being able to pass tests, use it. Some of y'all are first-time test takers. You never had to take a makeup test in your life, okay? That is a gift. Use it. Some of you have strengths, your $5 fights. That means that it's your start. Some of you got the capital right now. That's your $5 fight. Some of you getting the knowledge right now. That's your $5 fight. Some of you have a deal, have an opportunity right now with no money. It is your $5 fight. So while I'm watching Lionheart and I'm like, oh my gosh, this man, he had to go off, okay? But he didn't complain because he understood what the assignment was, right? So when I realized sometimes you got to go AWOL for a season, you got to get away from people that's been in your way. You got to get away from people that's been holding you back. Sometimes you got to go AWOL from the places that are trying to keep you where you're trying to outgrow from. Some of you cannot outgrow the season you're in because of the people that's attached to you. Mark my words. So as I'm watching this and I see that he's gone AWOL, but guess what? Every step of the way, he's becoming successful and more successful and more successful. It got to the point, y'all, where he had to do $1 million fight. Now, he wasn't fighting for money. Let's just be clear. He was fighting so he can have money to get transportation to go to where his brother was. By the time he got to his brother was dead, but the brother left behind a wife and a daughter who was struggling to make rental payments and headed towards eviction. So he wanted to continue fighting so he can provide a way from them for them. So not only did he use Mike and Ike, he used this as well. He said, I need to be able to open up an account. Somebody put legacy in the chat. I need to be able to open up an account and put this money in there for them. Some people right now, you have a legacy to leave behind. It will require you to go AWOL for a season. Yeah, that's okay. Terica, you acting funny, and I am. You're right. My bank account funny. I'm not going to be funny to nobody until my bank account dance. How about that? I'm going to act funny in this season. I'm not hanging out with who I used to hang out with. I just told my business partner, I have not hung out with a few multi-high level millionaires in 6 months. I am anxiously clawing to get back in that room. We spend almost over $100,000 on mentorships. Yes, your coach get mentored. I spend that because I know the power that it is getting in that room. So in this season, I'm in a room where people are talking about wealth. I'm in a room where people are talking about, the type of loans that they're getting and who's giving them the money. I'm in a room where people are talking about high level decisions that they're making. I'm in a room with people that got over 4,000 units. I'm in a room with people that have taken companies public. I'm in a room with people who own family offices. I'm in a room with people that got some things going on. You see, I need for you to hang with your future and not your past. Your past, you already know what it looks like. The future is what you're trying to get to. So if you hang out with people that look like your future, somebody put future in the chat. When you hang out with people that fit your future, then you start headed in the right direction. Had I stayed with my family, I probably wouldn't be here with you guys. That's the truth. So during this movie, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a powerful movie. I love it. I can't believe it. Like he had to go AWOL, and then he ended up with the $1 million fight and he's winning it. But what he always had, and this is what I want for you guys to understand, right? What he always had was that grit, that assignment. It never changed. It never changed. This is where we stop performing and start getting serious about what it is that we're trying to do, right? Where are you right now? Are you overwhelmed? Are you stuck? Put it in the chat. Are you in research mode? Are you afraid to make the wrong decision? Drop it in the chat. I want to see. Are you waiting for the perfect conditions? Are you waiting to have A to Z instructions? Like, where are you at right now? You cannot, this is what this movie taught me, you cannot build a new life with old patterns. You cannot. That thing, you cannot build a new life with old patterns. You cannot. So knowing that this mindset and saying, I'm going to go AWOL for a season, that might sound arrogant to some people. That might sound arrogant, but it's not. It's resiliency. I can tell you this. I did not win because everything went right. I won because I was willing to trust God when it looked impossible. I won because I was able to walk blindly. I didn't have this all figured out, guys, in the beginning. But when you get in a room like this, it expedite the information that you have to learn, because you don't have to take an L to be able to do it. You don't. Every delay can teach you something. Every delay right now can teach you something. Every mistake can sharpen you. But the only way that takes place is by staying in the game. So when I say, like the heartbeat check-in, right? Like, what does that mean, right? Like, are you going all in? Put all in the chat. Like, am I going all in? Like she said, this summit was 3 days, 6+ hours. Am I going all in? Like, am I really going all in right now? Because I can tell you, those who've attended my 5-day challenge, those who've been in the circle of investors, let me tell you something. They went all in. That's why I know them. That's why some of them are my business partners. That's why we connect and grow together, because they went all in. I don't know how to be around nobody that cannot go all in. I cannot be around people that got a $20 problem. Ouch, Coach T, why you said that? I can't be around people that can't afford $1,000. I can't be around people that think $50,000 in a day is a lot of money. Why? Because I have left. I am no longer at that place in my life. The people I'm hanging around, $50,000 in a day is no money when they making it every hour or two. So I'm telling you that there's a room that requires you to step up in, but it's going to seem like it's arrogance, but it's not. It's resiliency, because we've been through some things and we understand how to be able to overcome it. So when you hear the heartbeat, when you hear my check-in, when you hear me say, I don't want to talk about $1,000 problem, it's not because I'm being rude, but I got to be careful I don't align with somebody who's still attached to poverty. Because if they're still attached to poverty, somebody put it's contagious. That crap is contagious, okay? I don't like contagious things. So I can't be attached to somebody who's contagious like that. It's almost like somebody sneezing by me and not covering their mouth. I don't care who don't like that. It's contagious. And let me tell you something. I'm one of the biggest givers I know. Why? Because God has blessed me with a lot. But what I would never give to is someone who has played the victim mindset and been a victim their whole entire life. I'll never do that. Right? So can I share with you guys a few ways to fight back? Is that okay? Can I share a few ways for you guys to fight back? The first thing that you can do whenever you go to fight back, which again, fighting back doesn't mean doing everything on your own. I just want that to be clear as well. It means doing the next thing, the right thing, the very next time in order. That's what it means. Right? So I need for you to get honest about where you are. Okay, can we get honest about that? I need for you to choose one strategy and study it first. I need for you, while we hear these next 3 days, is to learn some numbers. Okay? I need for you to make decisions about investments. Can you do that? Yes or no? I need for you to be able to make decisions about investments. Some of you, hey, I'm going to say I love y'all before I say this. That make me sound nicer, right? If I say I love you before I say this. Some of you are controlled by paper. Money controls your life. Yeah, it does. It bully you around. I don't feel like going to work today. You better go get that money. You know you can't pay your bills without it. How many of you tired of being bullied? Girl, you better go. I'm joking, but it's real. It's real, right? So what I want to say while I'm giving you guys the few steps is this. Start where you are and not where everybody else think you should be. Start where you are and not where everybody else think you should be and or where you wish you would be. I can tell you now, I wish I was a billionaire already. Do you know how many children in foster care that I can provide transitional housing for? Oh, I'm sure it's like millions, especially if I build them myself. God, I want to be pressed down, shaken, and run it over, not just for my glory, although thank you, God, I do enjoy the benefits of it, but for me to be able to run over on other people, right? Most of you start disqualifying yourself because you wish you was somewhere that you're not. So you disqualify yourself from every single opportunity because of it. I need you to stop today. Somebody say, Coach T, I'm stopping. Again, if this is good for you, this is what I came here for. You need to drop that in the chat, right? You do not need perfect credit. You do not need a ton of money or any money if you got a deal, right? You don't need all the years of experience. You don't need all that to start learning at all. You don't need that to start thinking like an investor. You just need a good starting point. I need the starting point. Can we agree just the starting point? If I can get my starting point, that'll help me out a lot, right? So I want for you to write this down, right? My current starting point is, right? My current starting point is I have 0 properties. I have 1 property. I have 10 properties. This is my starting point. My biggest obstacle is I don't have cash flow. I don't have credit. I don't have the knowledge, right? My next level requires me. What does your next level require you to do? Attend more webinars, attend more summits, hire a mentor, a coach. What next level, what does your next level require of you? Right? So then when I look along my journey, I'm like, okay, so I know what I did. I started doing this brick by brick. Because real estate is not just going to wing it, right? There's a process. But the first thing I had to do was make one decision, one skill, one conversation, one relationship, one deal analysis, one offer, one follow-up. If I can just do one, one decision, one skill, one conversation, one relationship, each one of these are bricks, right? One deal analysis, brick. One offer, brick. One follow-up, brick. One skill, brick. One coach, brick. One mentor, brick. One conversation, brick. One relationship, brick. That's what it is, brick by brick. Brick by brick, we built this, right? So let's keep going to number 3, right? Are you a generational curse cycle breaker? Put in the chat. You know who you are. Some of you are not just trying to buy property. Some of you are here to interrupt the pattern that's been plaguing your family for years and years and years. You're trying to be the person where struggling stops repeating itself and you know, generational curses stop repeating themselves by you. That requires you to be in a different room than everybody else in your family. Wouldn't you agree? Cycle breakers need rooms they can be taught, stretched, and corrected and supported. That's what you need. A room that's going to stretch you. A room that's going to correct you. A room that's going to hold you accountable. A room that says, hey, we are increasing to the next level. And guess what? You're going to have some growing pains, but that's okay. I'd rather grow in pain than not grow. So give me the growing pains, okay? So when I say that, and I say, am I a generational curse breaker? And I say, I am. The cycle ended when it ran into me. Now, if anybody want to go and be a knucklehead and pick it back up themselves, then they can have at it. But I know that I have the baton and I have passed it on. So when I look at my son and I look at the street sign and I look at his name on it, this is what my freedom looks like to me. Working for someone else's dream will never bring you freedom, no matter how much they pay you. It will never bring you freedom, period, okay? Ownership means my children will never start where I started. They'll start where I finished. It means the ceilings I had to break through, the ceilings I had to fight through becomes the floor that they stand on. That's what happens when you in the right partnership. That's what happens. What may be a ceiling for someone would be the floor to someone else. So what you asking God for is at his footstool. Your ceiling, the height of your career, where you're at, the excitement that you have, the wealth that you accumulated, the things that you've done is a ceiling for you, but it's at his foot. That means there's so much more that you have that's coming to you if you can break through the ceiling. That's what that means, right? So when we talk about the Buying Income Summit, this is me and my daughter. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to buy income, create wealth equity, and repeat the process. I'm going to do it through the BRRRR method and the flipping of the equity process, okay? I need for you to get your pens and paper ready because this is going to be a lot of information. But somebody say, I'm in, Coach T. It has to work or it has to work. It has to work or it has to work. So whenever I look at this, okay, the big idea, buy income, not houses. Income is the product. Your goal is a stable, repeatable monthly income stream, not a good looking property. I don't care how the property look. Okay. I need for this to do one thing for me: buy income. Equity is the fuel of the actual investment. Equity is what you convert into cash to fund the next acquisition. And the systems we create, and we teach you guys a lot about systems in the 5-day property challenge. Like, we got a huge workbook that you guys get, and it's page by page by page, but it is built off of systems and being able to work repeatedly on it, right? The winners are process driven: scope, timeline, leasing, finance, and readiness. So what happens? What is the outcome when you do this, guys? What is the big outcome, right? One deal becomes another deal and another deal. That's what happens when you do this. Buy income. Somebody put it in chat: buy income. So when I'm looking at that, right, and I understand the equity engine, this is what it looks like. So this is one way that you can get started, right? It's buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. All right, so the first thing when we talk about it is buying. I'm going to find the opportunity. Buying at a discount, equity on day one is my goal. I'm not trying to pay full price for nothing. I'm not trying to build somebody else's legacy. I am buying at a discount, or I don't want it. Somebody put discount in the chat. I want a discount. The next thing is improving the property. This is where equity comes from. If you do not have these things, you would not have equity. You would just have another property that is market value. Okay? Improving the property, forced appreciation is what we call that. Okay? So anytime I get a property and I know that there's equity in it, like right now, me and D, he don't know this yet, but we're going to do a deal that's $400,000 cash. Love you, D Money. Right? So what's amazing about this deal is I already have the end buyer. They just cannot compete in a bidding process because cash is king. So because cash is king, and D trusts me with the numbers, and he know that, you know, we're going to eat good, right? He know I'm buying it right. Mark my words. Real estate, write this down. Real estate will cost you to lose money on the day of closing if you buy wrong. If you buy wrong, you might as well went to a car lot, paid the new sticker price, drive off the car lot, and now that's what your car is worth. And every year it take a chunk and declining and declining and declining. A lot of people talk about appreciating assets. They talk about the equity. They don't talk about if you buy wrong at that closing table. If you buy wrong at that closing table, put my notes in the chat, team. I got too many people working for that not to be in the chat. If you buy wrong at closing, you have lost on the deal. You will spend all your time hustling backwards. So the key in real estate is to buy right at closing. You cannot run your numbers after you close and hope and wish and pray that it works out. No, ma'am, and no, sir. You will take a haircut, and if you bald head, you'll get scapped. Period. So then the next thing that we talk about with equity and where it comes from is by stabilizing rents. Qualifies for long-term financing. So me and D found out that there's a way for us to be able to get a mortgage for like 50 years on an FHA property or some sort of property, right? 50 years is a very long time for an investor because of the simple fact, typically investor loans are about 20 years. So now they're saying we'll give you 30 years, which means it gives you a lot more cash flow because your monthly obligation on that asset is not as high as it would be if it was only a 20-year loan. So because there's lenders out there that's being very creative right now, that is another way for us to be able to create equity by being able to stabilize the rents and being able to increase the revenue that's coming in, right? Where does cash come from? All right. So where does cash come from inside of this process? So the BRRRR method is you buy it, you rehab it. Rehab just means renovate. You rent it out, you refinance it, and then you repeat it. So when you refinance it, this is where you ask, where does the cash come from, right? So refinance to pull cash out, keep the rental, or you can sell to flip the equity, build the cash engine, then repeat the process with more fuel. So what am I saying? You can refinance the BRRRR method and get cash out, and or you can just sell it and not rent it. Some of you are fix and flippers. Some of you are buy and hold. If you buy and hold, this is a good example for you, okay? If you are a fix and flipper, you're probably going to want to sell it and get the equity. Is this good? Put good in the chat. If y'all learning, just put good in the chat. Okay, so this is what I say, okay? The only 3 numbers you need, all right? The only 3 numbers you need. How many? 3. Number 1, ARV. Number 2, all-in costs. Number 3, equity created. All right, let's break this down. This is juicy. I love talking about this stuff. I'm giving y'all meat and potatoes right now. I hope y'all getting full. ARV. So what does ARV stands for? It stands for after repair value, right? What the property is worth after the rehab based on sold comps. What are comps? Comps are, it's shortened for the word comparable, okay? And so comparables are comps inside of a neighborhood. That means the house you live in right now has probably 3 similar properties that's around it that you can pull value from if they sold. That's what they call comps, okay? So then you have your all-in costs. So let's say you're doing, this deal and you got your purchase price, your rehab, interest, holding, and closing costs, right? That's all of your costs inside of one deal. That matters, okay? A lot of people, when they do a fix and flip and or renovation loan, what happens is they don't calculate interest and holding costs. And they act as surprised as if anybody is going to give them money for free. Do you not read the paperwork at closing? Again, I told y'all don't buy without understanding. So your all-in cost is your total project cost, okay? Then you have equity created. Equity created equals ARV minus your all-in cost. This is your next fuel for your next deal. This is a rule. If equity created is small, the deal is fragile, okay? So when I say if equity created, on the 5-day challenge, we talk about some rules. We talk about the 70% rule. We talk about the 50 times rule. We talk about a bunch of different rules. If the equity you create is fragile, is small, it is fragile. That means that your deal, and I'm going to go into it as well, but that means if you're in a fragile deal, you cannot afford to sit on the market because you don't have enough equity. So that's why it's important to know what your interest and holding cost is, and you calculate that in the beginning before you close on the property so you can know those things. Are y'all hearing me loud and clear? My mic good? All right. Strong equity protects you from high interest rates, surprises, and delays. Delays is the #1 deal killer, right? So let's break this down. This is an assumption deal, okay? Deal 1, the BRRRR method, $5,000 down plus hard money, okay? So let's just say the purchase price is $100,000. The down payment, the loan to value is 95%, so $5,000 down out your pocket. Hard money loan is $95,000. We also got someone coming to talk to you guys about hard money as well. The rehab budget, meaning the renovations for the property, is about $30,000. Interest rate is about 12%, interest only. The time on the loan, you did a term for 6 months. Your closing and holding cost is about $5,000. Your ARV, which is your after repair value that I just taught you guys on the first slide, is $210,000. The new long-term loan after rehab is $150,000. Put following if you're in the chat. All right. Or if you understand it, put following, okay? Now, this is where it gets real good. Deal number 1. So the loan at $125,000, the rate at 12%, the time is 6 months. So the interest for 6 months is $125,000 times 12% divided by 2. Okay, that's because interest is calculated on an annual basis. So 6 months we did 2. That's where you get the $7,500 from. All right. High rates only hurt when time gets out of hand. That means that investors do not buy because of interest rates. It is a lie if you think that investors are not buying because of interest rates. The numbers make the deal, not interest rates. Okay? Do that make sense? The numbers make the deal, not the interest rates. This is why we do not pay attention to what's going on with what they're talking about on CNN and all those other channels, right? So then let's keep going. So deal one, all-in cost, equity created. Let's talk about this, right? So our all-in cost is $142,500. The purchase was $100. The rehab was $30,000. The interest was $7,500. The closing and holding is $5,000. The equity created equals ARV minus all in. So I said that once I finish doing all of this, it's going to be worth $210,000. I got to subtract my all in cost. Now remember, I started you on this train in the beginning. It was the very first slide. And I told you there's 3 things that you got to pay attention to. So if you don't pay attention to those things, it can eat your lunch money. Okay. So this says I'm going to make $67,500. That's the way we run our numbers. Investors, we invest off of numbers. You don't need to be a CPA to understand this. You don't need to be an accountant to understand this. You may need to be at the 5-day challenge where we break it down more, but you probably don't need to have a license for sure. I don't. I can tell you that I got a lot of people in my office that work for me that's way smarter than me. And guess what? I be talking with my whole chest, okay? I don't care. I don't care about your MBAs. I don't care about y'all knowing numbers. I don't care about none of that stuff. I talk with my whole chest. I could be dead wrong, but I still talk with it, okay? So with that being said, don't let these numbers intimidate you. Don't let these numbers intimidate you. You don't have to have a math degree to be a real estate investor, right? I'm really good with numbers, but I also have a business partner that is way better than me with the numbers. Okay, he enjoyed being in Excel for long periods of time. I get bored after a few clicks, okay? That's just the way it is. That's okay. So now we're going to go into the refi, right? So let's convert equity into cash, all right? Let's say we do this part and we refinance, okay? This is the refinance portion. So the new long-term goal is loan is $150,000. Pay off hard money principal, $125,000 plus the closing cost, which is $5,000. So the cash that's left after the refinance is $20,000, right? Keep the rental income and pull cash to fund the next deal. So you take that amount that's left and then you go and put it into another deal. So you don't have to do it you don't have to do like 10 deals at a time or anything like that. Just do one if you're comfortable with one, right? Shout out to Amanda that's in Cycle 9. I see her on here. Hey, girl. How you doing? All right, let's keep going. Why smart investors? Oh, I see Darlene. Hey, girl. Okay. All right, come through. Why smart investors don't fear high interest rates. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I don't care. They be like, what's the interest rate? I don't care. Let's make these numbers dance. If these numbers don't dance, I'm not interested, right? So why smart investors don't fear high interest rates? We focus on the spread. Somebody put spread in the chat. Equity created must exceed the cost of money. The money I'm putting in, it got to make money. I say I like to put my money in, which is my child, and I send my child to the playground and I said, hey, I need you to bring me back 10 friends. And if they can't come back with 10 friends, then you're not going to that playground, okay? Why? Because there is a process. There's rules and formulas that I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. There's people who have come before me that have become uber successful at real estate investing by just following the roadmap. So I will stay on my roadmap. So big equity absorbs surprises and delays. So you remember I said if you don't have a lot of equity, your deal is fragile. So some of y'all sitting up here trying to make it work for $20,000. I'm out. Unless it's a refi where I can put the money, unless it's a refi where I can pull the $20,000 out and I'm not waiting on it to be sold, I can go ahead and rent it out and start generating cash flow, then I probably do that. Right? Then equity makes any rate feel painful. right? We also focus on speed. Let me tell you why, and I'm not saying this to be cocky, right? I see Darlene is on here. It's very hard for y'all to beat people that's in the Circle of Investor program. All of you who is your first time on here, I would, and I say this with all love, right? I would measure you up against any one of them that comes to class and show up and learn how to do reps. The reason why we teach them to be so aggressive and how and we put we drill inside their head over and over again reps, it's because success loves speed. And on the market, if one investor think it's a good deal, another investor think it's a good deal, right? So what happens is this: we're going to finish the rehab on schedule. I'm not listening to no contractors. Finish on time, or it's $100 per day that you're late. Lease quickly and document rent. I will lease that property before I'm 60% complete. Put that thing on the market, okay? Especially a large apartment complex, right? Refinance or sell to exit the expensive loan. Guys, let's not sit around here, twiddle our thumbs and pray that these contractors are going to come save us. No, somebody put in the chat, I'm an investor. I'm an investor. I am an investor. The bottom line is this: interest rates is a line item. The calendar is the lever. The calendar is the one that determines it. How long are you on the market for? That right there matters. Okay, so if you're going to focus at something, you focus at that. All right, so let's say deal number 2, it's a flip. Okay, deal number 2, flip the equity, build a cash engine. Assumption, all right? Purchase price $100,000, still $5,000 down. Rehab is $25,000. Interest is 6 months, $7,500. Closing costs and holding is $5,000. Sales price $185,000. Selling costs $15,000. So simple math. Total cost is $152,500. So if we have profit, $185,000 minus $152,000, that's $32,500. Now, what's important about this deal is to line this up against the 70% rule, which I don't have the time to teach on that tonight. Somebody put 5 days in the chat for me. Drop 5 days in the chat, okay? I need to give you guys that. I need to remember that. So if you say 5 days, I'm gonna make sure I give that to you. So the flip equals us exiting the deal, right? It's the equity liquidation. It is what we realized in the beginning, the ARV, the after repair value that we realized in the beginning, that allows us to be able to make this money and get it back extremely fast, okay? So for those of you who like fix and flips and all this other stuff, all of that, this is your lingo right here, okay? So then let's go back to the BRRRR method, right? So back to the BRRRR method, repeat the machine, okay? Guys, start over. Deal 1 was the BRRRR method. I used cash and equity. Deal 2, it was a flip. I used cash and equity. Deal 3, the BRRRR method, cash and equity. This is what the engine has to put out. Rental number 1, cash flow. So I created cash flow. I did a $20,000 refi and then a $32,500 equity play. Come on. Let's do it. That's what the BRRRR method allows. Buy, rehab, right? Renovate. No, buy, rehab, renovate, refinance, and repeat. I'm going to buy it. That means I already know what the ARV is, right? I'm going to renovate it. I already know what the cost is going to be. I'm going to rent it out. I already know the market because that's what we learned during our 5-day challenge, right? I'm going to refinance it. We also learned that during the 5-day challenge. That's a new class that's going to be on this challenge specific. So Circle of Investors, y'all want to be on there too, right? We're going to do a refinance class. It's going to be really, really good. And I'm going to show y'all how y'all keep resetting y'all loans and not getting no money. How many of you have done a refinance and got $0 for it? Put me in the chat. I just want to know who I'm talking to. If you ever did a refinance in your life and you've gotten $0, put me in the chat. The reason why I'm asking that is because of the simple fact, sometimes we just don't know what we do, right? And some of y'all just scared to put it because y'all don't want to be embarrassed. But I would never refi and not get no money out my bricks. But I'll teach you guys that on the 5 days also, all right? So let's keep on going with this. We're going to repeat this machine over and over again. Deal 1, deal 2, deal 3, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to keep on running the same play. I'm not here, again, to reinvent the wheel. I'm here to make money. I am here to grow my real estate portfolio. And so I know this, guys, put this in the chat, buildings over bills. I will make sure that I have a building for every bill I have, period. I just bought a new car. I need a new building. I don't care how much cash flow I got. I need a new building, okay? Anytime I treat myself to something, I need a building. You know, my family asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I sent them a picture of some grass with a bow on it. Thank you. That's what I want. Anything else, you know, whatever. But I need more buildings over the bills I have. I got way more bills than I got buildings. How many of us would say, Coach T, I got way more bills than I got buildings, okay? How it feel having to be a slave to your job. That's what it is, right? Like you have to work or your bills don't get paid. That's why you're in the room, because you don't like it. That's the truth. That's why you're in the room, because you don't like it, right? So let me give you the unsexy skill of the week, okay? The unsexy skill of the week is this: the cost of delay. If carrying costs, which is your mortgage, if carrying costs is $1,500 a month, let's say it's your mortgage, your light bill, the lawn care, $1,500 a month. A 2-month delay on a deal means $3,000 gone. $3,000 gone, right? What to control weekly? The scope, you control your scope, your change orders, the draws that you pull from the bank, your inspections, material lead time, get ahead on your material, which is something else we discussed during the challenge. Leasing speed, again, that is so important with the documentation. And then of course the appraisal and the refinance readiness. Like you got to be ready to go ahead and flip that thing around once you finish the work in it. Like don't just sit there and keep paying on expensive money. I'm going to give you guys the $10,000 mistake, right? What happened? Okay, this is a process failure. The rehab plan was for 6 weeks, right? No locked scope of work, no change order rule, meaning that in the contract, you got to have a change order rule. Like, what is that process if there's a change order? Like, if a contractor tear down a wall, what the heck happens if he see that it's ate by termites? What is that change order? He can't just go and start doing everything and charge me all kind of money. I tell all my contractors, you better have Superman vision. I'm talking red eye vision. You better look between them walls, okay? Because I ain't paying you nothing extra, right? And then your project ran 8 weeks long. What it costs, a delay costs $1,500 a month, so times 2 is $3,000. Upgrades in the area, which made no sense because you got expensive taste. Some of y'all on here got expensive taste, so you went above and beyond. You spent the extra $7,000 in the deal that you wasn't supposed to. These are all still examples from the first deal scenarios I showed you guys, right? So you believe that you want to put matte black fixtures throughout the entire property, and all the other properties that are going to be used as comparables have brushed nickel. Okay, some of y'all want this big expensive front door that may cost $5,000, and then your neighbors got the Home Depot door that's on display for $150. There's things you can spend money on that you would not get back, right? So let's say the total mistake costs about $10,000. What is the lesson here? The interest rate will not hurt you. The interest rate don't hurt you. The lack of process do. Somebody put in the chat, I need a process, Coach T. Like, I need a process. Like, I need a process. I don't want to be in this position. I need a process, okay? This is what the Buying Income Summit is, giving you the roadmap and giving you the high-level overview of the process, okay? So let me give you an action checklist real quick, okay? Use this in every deal before you buy. Confirm your ARV with how many comps? 3, right? Line item, scope of works, estimate all in costs, do your equity check, your ARV minus all in, and make sure it's big enough. Somebody put big in the chat. I need it to be big, okay? Then during your rehab, right, you have the signed scope and the timeline. You have a no change order, no work, okay? Weekly walkthroughs. I go daily, okay? Order long lead materials day 1. That means order your materials in advance. If you know your contractors are saying, hey, I'm gonna be starting on floor next week, go order flooring. And no, don't let them order your materials, and do not let them choose your materials. Don't ever do a contract where it's material and labor, okay? Can we just agree? Don't do that. Don't ever do a contract that's material and labor, because they have different grades of materials, okay? They got grade A, grade B, grade C, and grade D. If you allow them to choose your material, they will get D. And if they had F, they would get F. Okay? Why? Because they want to leave as much money as they possibly can inside of the labor. So I never let them do material for me. Okay? If you leave with nothing else, say, I came what I came for. Okay? I got what I came for. All right. So then you choose your exit, right? I think that's very important, right? What income you want, refinance and repeat the process, right? Want cash fast, flip that for the equity, and then recycle the cash into the next deal. So look, just because you won on one deal, don't just go and start blowing that money and, now you got on Chanel and Louis Vuitton. No, y'all, I was a bum for a long time walking around the real estate market. I wore Goodwill clothes and I was okay with that. Did I feel embarrassed sometimes I would walk into places? Yes, I absolutely did. But I had to thug it out for a season. Like I said, I went AWOL. So there was no time for me to be trying to entertain and showcase something that I just did not have. And to this day, I still walk in the room just as Terica Lynn Smith. Some people still think I'm broken and bummy, but I don't care, because I know who I am and I know what I have. But I believe that I've been able to survive because I've never tried to impress the Joneses or the Johnsons. I just done what I had to do to be able to get to where I needed to get to next. So I would tell you guys this, which is for me, what can I do today? Right? Like, what are those things I can do today? If this teaching has been good, put good in the chat right now. Do these 3 things today. Number 1, pick your target buy box. I need you to pick this because when we get started with the 5-day property challenge, I need you to know your buy box in advance. Okay? Somebody put buy box. I need you to know your buy box in advance. That helps us move a lot faster during the challenge when you know your buy box. Okay? Then you're going to run the 3 number tests. Okay? ARV, all in, and equity. Now, what does that mean? How do you run this test? I want for you to go on Zillow, find a property, look, you're going to say, I don't have enough information. I don't know what to do. I don't care. I just want you to start. I want you to start reading what's on Zillow. I need you to be able to ask me questions because I'm telling you, for the 5-day property challenge, we have what's called a Q&A section. How many of you got questions right now you would love to ask me? Just put me in the chat right now. Let me see who got questions that they're like, yo, Coach T, I would love to ask you these questions, right? Right. So that's what I'm saying. So this right here, when I'm saying run the 3 number test, the ARV, the all in, and the equity, I want for you to get uncomfortable with I want for you to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay? That makes sense. I want you to click on Zillow and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I want you to feel it so we can go ahead and get that emotion out the way. Because we understand that there's some people in here with lion hearts. There's some people in here that no matter what life throws at them, they understand the assignment that is on their life. It does not matter what it don't look like. It does not matter what I do not know. All that matters is that I'm taking action on this today. And the last thing that I want for you guys to do is find a coach who can walk with you through this season. Now, I've told you guys that I'm going to be probably coaching and mentoring some of y'all. I know I won't be able to do everyone. I know that, right? But for those of you who's like, Coach T is my coach, then drop it in the chat. Put some authority. Start claiming it. Start claiming that over your life right now, right? Some of y'all, you probably already scared of me. You don't need to be. I love with my whole heart, right? But I'm not going to ask you to come take a 5-day journey with me if you're going to walk with fear. The only people that can do this with me is the ones who understand that they have favor on their life. And even though they're scared, in this season, I will do it scared. In this season, I will not have A to Z. God just may give me A. Coach T just may be my A point right now. Coach T is the A that I need right now. This is the only thing I can figure out is that, hey, I got a coach. So if I have someone who can coach me for 5 intensive days and say, hey, this is the next level, I'm giving a foundation this day, the next 3 days, but in 5 days, I'm going to be able to give this, then that's who I want to walk with. You can't, look, let me tell you something. You ever prepared to, I don't know, back in middle school, I guess I was a fighter. I don't think everybody be able to relate to me, but I used to be a fighter. And I used to have to hype myself up because I always found the biggest people to fight, like giants, okay? And so I would have to hype myself up and tell myself, yo, I'm gonna do this. And then I visualize myself doing these Power Ranger moves on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like kicking them in the knee first because they big. And so I got to get them to fall. And I'm just like thinking of all of these things that I can do to be able to take this giant out. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And the end of the day come in. How many of you know the end of the day come fast? Okay, because you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna be stepping on this person. I thought I was going to stump this person. I thought I was going to be able to take this person. And now the end of the day is here and your heart is beating uncontrollably out of your chest. You're extremely nervous, but you're like, I don't care. Because ain't nobody about to see me run from this giant. So I don't care. I'm going to do it. Okay. And y'all, I'll never forget this fight. I was in foster care, was in a group home. The girl name was Jessica. She was like a Goliath to me. Okay. But she was the biggest bully I ever seen. Like she'll come around and take people bowl that's eating oatmeal and she'll eat it herself off they spoon. And I remember I seen her out the corner of my eye coming. And as she's walking up towards me, okay, I already had an agenda that I was going to take her out because she was a bully. So as soon as I seen her get close to me, I did this as hard as I can in between them two things she called the breasts, which I call cushions. Felt like she didn't even feel it. So how it went in my head, it didn't really go like that, right? But it was enough to make her take a deep breath in while I get my butt up on my feet and stand on top of the chair and then take her by the head and wear her out. They still talk about that fight in foster care to this day. I don't say that to brag. I say I had to fight that giant scared. Some of y'all got to fight this giant because you've been getting tormented for the past 40 days. Some of you 40 years, and it is traumatizing and you don't know how to get around it. But anything that you do, it seems like it just don't work out because the giant keep on taking it from you and the giant keep on coming up against you. And as hard as you try to win this battle, it never seems to work. Can I tell you something? When you get inside of you that it has to work or it has to work, this giant gonna go down or I'm going down and I ain't coming back up. That's all you need on the inside of you. By the time I finished with her, now I didn't say I won the fight. I need you guys to understand this story. I told y'all what I did, but what I didn't tell you was that she picked me up. I've never stood on another chair for a fight again in my life, okay? Homegirl picked me up and body slammed me like I was on WWE, okay? By the time I came to, I was in the group home bedroom and it was like making sure that I was conscious and okay. And they asked me if I know what happened to me. I said, yeah, I just got beat up. And so the next day, there she go, eating people porridge again, oatmeal, there she go. And guess what happened? I got these Power Ranger moves inside my head, okay? But what I knew this time was that I'm taking a piece of her with me. If I'm going down, she got to go down too. I bit the mess out of her. You understand what I'm saying? I left with her DNA. What does that mean? The giant is going to leave, and are you leaving with the DNA? Some of us is coming back with the foreskin of the Goliaths that's been tormenting us in our life. So just because you keep getting knocked down, that does not mean anything because you're still standing and you're still here in this room. Somebody come in all in. The moment I decide to go all in on this Goliath, whether it's my finances, whether it's my business partner, whether it's my relationships, whether it's my time commitment, whatever the Goliath is, I'm taking a piece of it back with me because I will not go down by myself. These walls have to come down. When I said the cycle ends with me, I meant it. So if I got to fight Goliath every single day and he's throwing me and he's slanging me and he's beating me, but I'm still showing up to the fight. Why? Because I believe I walk with an undefeated God. And I believe the only way poverty is going to take me is by killing me. If I got two eyes open and I still got the strength in my body. There's no Goliath here on this world. There's no finances here on this world. There's no opportunity that's around me that I cannot have and I cannot do. So some of you better get ready to get your slingshots out. Some of you better get ready to get them 5 stones. You've been fighting and you tired and you weary, but somebody put reinforcement in the chat. God has sent you some reinforcement. We're not going to be tormented for 40 days and 40 years over our finances and resources no more. We came to take territory this year. That was a prophetic word from my sister Tiffany Montgomery. And when we take territory, that means we increase the kingdom territory. So I'm not here to hype you up. I told you if I give you this information and you do nothing with it, I've just entertained you. But if I give you this information and you do something with it, I have educated you. My assignment is to educate as many real estate investors as I possibly can. But the things I need you to stop being scared of, such as interest rates, such as what I don't know, such as I don't have enough resources, such as I don't have a business partner, such as I don't have an MBA, I need you to leave that behind. That's what I need you to do. That's what I need for you to do. Yeah. Somebody say I'm coming back with the foreskins. Put that in the chat right now. I'm coming back with the foreskins. This is day 1. I haven't even gotten to day 2 yet. The enemy that messed around and pissed me off because I felt the spirit of poverty just lingering right now. People talking about they got $0. Who child are you? Who child are you? Who's your daddy? What child of a king has $0? It's time to take your birthright back. It's time to step in your anointing. It's time to step in your calling. Who child of you? Who's your daddy? Do you know? Because I think you may be having the wrong daddy. You got some daddy issues right now. Because I'm telling you, as long as I've walked with God, I've been undefeated in every single mission I have taken, and I will remain undefeated. So it is time for you to stop mixing up who your daddy is. Maybe your daddy is Instagram. Maybe your daddy is Facebook. Whatever has your time has your mind. Some of you are wasting your time, and that's why your mind is gone. But my mind is on taking territory for the kingdom. My mind is focused on increase. My mind is taking ground. I understand the importance of my assignment while I am here. So while I am here and I got both eyes open, I know who my daddy is. Somebody put, I know who my daddy is. Michael, let's go.
Woo! Terica's always bringing the heat, y'all. Put a fire emoji in the chat real quick, y'all. Put a fire emoji in the chat real quick. The team was texting me, said, T's going off, man. She's going off tonight. Listen, I'm excited. We're not done. Everybody put, we're not done. She's coming back for a part 2 in just a moment. The team just texted me and said, we got to get her some water. So is it okay if we give Terica, y'all, she brought some crazy information. Can we just give her like 3 to 4 minutes to get some water real quick? Is that okay? Just put a yes in the chat if that's cool. But listen, we're not done. We got more tonight. We have a guest speaker about to be in the room as well. So if you're excited for our guest speaker, go ahead and put, oh yeah, in the chat if you're excited for our guest speaker. But real quick, I'm going to pause and I'm going to remind you all about a few things. Number one, before Terica comes back up here in just a second, just a reminder that you guys, I need you all in the Facebook group sharing your takeaways. Our team loves it when we can go see what your biggest takeaways are. So real quick, let's pause. Everybody join the Facebook group. The team's putting in the chat. I'm going to pause the chat for just a moment. The team dropped, it's the blue link in the chat. Everybody go join the Facebook group. And I need you right now to go share your biggest takeaway so far. Go share your biggest takeaway. Tomorrow, I just may pick one person who shares their, okay, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I will tomorrow, Britt. I will pick one person who shares their takeaway, and I'm gonna give away something special tomorrow. All right, I got more giveaways, so make sure tomorrow you're here for day 2 because your name may just get picked if you go inside of the Facebook group and share your takeaway. So go do that. Comment done once you're in the Facebook group so we know you're in there. Go ahead and comment done if you are in the Facebook group, and make sure you go put that takeaway in there ASAP because your name could get drawn for a special giveaway, okay? Now, while you all are working on that, just a few reminders. For those of you all that just popped in the past 15, 20, 30 minutes, you're like, whoa, what did I step into? Welcome to the Buying Income Summit. We have 2 more days after today. I just want to remind you, we have tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time And we have Saturday at 10 a.m. Okay. So Saturday, we're doing the morning. Tomorrow we're doing 6 p.m. on Friday, Eastern Standard Time. But then Saturday we're doing a morning session at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're going to be here for both days, just put both in the chat. If you're going to be here for both sessions, you're not skipping it. Just let me know in the chat that you're going to be there for both of these extra sessions. All right. I love it. Tiff says both. I love it. I love it. Michelle says done. I love it. So lastly, this is what I'll say before we bring back Terica up in just a moment. All right. Okay. Team, I got your message. I got you. So, what we're going to do is one last reminder before we go on. We do have the VIP. There's some of you all, I saw you messaging me. I had literally 99 messages from you guys. Wild. Like Zoom DMs. Some of you all were asking, "Hey, are the replays going to be available?" They're going to be available until Sunday night at midnight for free ticket holders in the Facebook group. It's pinned to the top. But if you're here in your VIP, you're going to get lifetime access to these. So I just want to remind VIP that you will get lifetime access. If I were you and I were here, I would go ahead and upgrade. It's only $49 to get all 3 days, lifetime access. Plus, you're going to get 2 to 3 other ebooks. I have a checklist I'm going to be putting in there. We were going to give you a workbook, but we just launched a brand new checklist, and I said, "Ooh, this is more. This is going to be way more valuable." So you're going to get a checklist, a couple ebooks, the lifetime access to the replays. So make sure you're clicking that link in the chat. Make sure you go and click that link in the chat real quick, okay? All right. So y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go ahead and bring up. I see the team. I see you. Let's go ahead. We're gonna bring up Terica back to the stage if she's ready, and we can go ahead. But put working on it real quick before Terica comes back up. Put working on it in the chat if you are working on upgrading to that VIP. Put working on. I just want to see who's getting those replays, y'all, because I can already tell. There's some of you are chomping at the bit to get that. I see Will says I'm working on it. Tiff's working on it. Makisha's working on it. I love it. I love it. Sherry's working on it. Amazing. So this is what I want to do. Just now that Terica's got her break, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this back over to her. She's going to take us to the finish line, and then we do have a speaker. So don't leave after Terica because we got a guest speaker that's going to be in the room. So
Oh,
T, I'm
we on
passing it back over to you.
fire. Oh yeah, we on fire. Y'all drop some fire in the chat if you guys are good. Like drop some fire in the chat if you guys are good, okay? Drop some fire in the chat. So I got off and I was getting ready to bring up my brother who's going to talk with you guys. I mean, he is phenomenal, right? But I want to do this first because I believe that there's some challengers in the room right now. Like just put challengers in the chat. If there's some challengers in the room, put challengers in the chat right now. I want to talk to the challengers, okay? I want to talk to the people who's ready to accept the challenge. I never, ever, ever release my 5-day challenge on a summit on a day one. Never. Okay. But I just want to go ahead and get this offer out the way so that way you can get over the fear of, oh my gosh, what does this cost? Is that fair? Can I go ahead and tell you guys what the 5-day property challenge is, who it helps and who it benefits? Like if that is what you want, just put yes in the chat right now. Because there's some people that's going to accept this challenge and already from day one session, right? From just what I taught you, you're like, this is the information. This is what they're not teaching us. I go to all these webinars and they talk about everything but the meat and potatoes, right? So I said in the beginning that I know everybody is not going to be able to work with me. I said that in the beginning. And I also, and look, I'm not even trying to be funny, but I know people mindset. Some people will leave this summit just remaining stuck, okay? And so I can't talk to you no matter what because poverty has already blocked your hearing. It's a spirit that blocks it, right? But there are about 40 or 50 of y'all I'm gonna take with me. Maybe 60, depends, okay? But we already have a 5-day challenge room that is full. But what's cool about this 5-day property challenge is can't nobody compete with what I'm offering you. And I said with my full chest. I said with my full chest because this challenge, this 5-day property challenge, don't just talk to you about the 5-day property challenge. How many of you would say, I need access? I'm an access person. Put me in the chat. Like, Coach T, I need access to you and your team. Put me in the chat. Okay. What I've learned along the way, guys, is that you can do small things alone, but it's really hard to do big things alone. It's really hard, right? Even if you're like the visionary or whatever the case may be, you still need guidance, you still need structure, and you still need a room that keeps you accountable. Now, a lot of you guys, put me on the screen, a lot of you guys have just messaged us tonight saying, hey, I want to work with Coach T and her team. I want to be in that room. The room is a very elite room. This is not a room for people that's going to come in and bring fear. This is a room where people, you may come in scared, but you know that this is what you need to do. That's what this room is. This room is not for those who's like, oh, no, this room is for those who are confident that they want to work with me and my team. And I'm talking not just work, okay? I'm talking about going all in. The room, this room, the right room, right, can collapse years. I mean, years of confusion just by being in the right room, just by asking the right questions. Now, I asked you guys earlier, I said, how many of you would love to be able to do Q&A with me? So I do that during the 5-day property challenge, and I get on a whole hour early. For those who are titanium, they get to come in the room early and ask me questions that I hope that I can answer, right? So let's say, for instance, you may have some inherited property and you're just sitting on it. How many of you got some inherited property and like, Coach T, I need to know what to do with it, okay? How many of you is like, I just need a good foundation and I need to be held accountable? Put a 1 in the chat. That's what this room is for, okay? The goal of the 5-day property challenge is to make, it is not to make you feel inspired or make you feel entertained, right? That's my favorite word, right? The goal is to help you think, analyze, and to partner and walk with me and my team. That's what the purpose of the 5 days is, right? And so some of you may have investment opportunities where you need capital. How many of you would love to put a deal before me and my friends? Put me in the chat. Like, how many of you would love to bring an apartment complex to me? I would love for you to bring that to me, okay? I would be very, very happy with that, right? During the 5-day property challenge, we walk you through the process of many different things, including that. Okay, including that. So what I will tell you is that our 5-day challenge, this is the last one this year. The reason why I can only do 2 of these this year, is any year, to be honest with you, is because I do this in real life. And because by the time I finish with the challenge, we have our circle of investors that we have to shift gears and focus to. Right. And our circle of investors is a very elite room that's not even open yet. OK, so you have to first agree to do 5 days. If you can handle 5 days, 5 strategic days of education and learning and growth, then you probably would be a candidate for the circle of investors. But right now, are you a candidate for the 5-day property challenge? Do you believe you have what it takes to accomplish this challenge that's going to go before you? Like, let me know in the chat. Put yes in the chat if you believe you have what it takes to do this challenge. Like, you're not no chump. You might be scary, but you ain't no chump. You may have to do it with all the scaredness in you, but you ain't no chump. You're gonna figure it out, right? And so, what is the 5-day property challenge? Let's talk about it, right? I started the 5-day property challenge because I saw so many people like trying to figure this out, you know, and they're putting their heart into it. And look, when David introduced this to me, guys, I had no clue that this was a burden on people. I had no clue about it, right? It's also the 5-day challenge. It helps you get rid of that burden. It also allows you to know that real estate can be overwhelming, especially if you're trying to do it alone. I've watched smart, hardworking investors, no lie, stall, not because they don't have the drive or the capacity, or they just don't know what to do. They don't have directions. How many of you are smart and stuck? That sucks, right? I'm super smart, but I'm stuck. Like, how does that even make sense? So I built an event that's online, it's virtual, it's 5 days where investors at any stage could come together in a room that I have curated. This is not a get rich quick overnight. It's no promises. I'm not going to guarantee you anything other than I'm going to show up and make sure that I bring the experts to you who are knowledgeable, who have real receipts and doing this in real life, right? Over the years, I've built a very large community of investors, and we have invested millions of dollars together. How many of you would love to invest with me? Put me in the chat. I would love to invest with me. I know I'm fertile soil, right? So the property challenge, the 5-day property challenge is not just an event, guys. This right here is a life change. This right here is legacy. This right here is for the action takers, the executors, the challengers. That's who this is for. That's why I've created the 5-day property challenge. Drop in the chat if you can use this. Put me in the chat if you can use this. On day 1, we focus on the mindset of a real estate investor, plus how to structure your real estate business. You'll learn how to think like a real estate investor, and I'm gonna get rid of that stinking thinking, okay? We're gonna structure your real estate business for protection, clarity, and growth. We're gonna build the mindset and the decision-making skills where it not only feels like a win, it's actually a win, right? And then we're going to create a simple action roadmap based on your goals and your starting point. How many of you need a roadmap? Put me in the chat right now. If you need a roadmap, put me in the chat right now. You can't keep guessing at this. You can't keep saving thumbnails and YouTubes and all of this. You have to get guided, okay? That's the only way that this works. On day 2, we're teaching how to use OPM and how to underwrite like a pro. Understanding how OPM works is extremely important. We teach you how to work with partners. We teach you the underwriting of a deal by checking numbers. How many of you know ChatGPT cannot underwrite your deal? Because ChatGPT is not perfect. It makes mistakes. But if you learn through the 5-day property challenge how to start underwriting deals, guess what? Now you can fact check ChatGPT. You can use AI to complement you, but don't use AI to own you, right? And then you allow yourself to start spotting deals and checking them, right? So then, can I give you guys something? If you guys are titanium, can I give you something? Put yes in the chat if I can give you a gift. Put yes in the chat, okay? I want to be able to give you guys access to our deal analyzer tool. This is a real estate calculator that we use to be able to underwrite deals with confidence and just like the pros. Literally, we're underwriting these deals, right? So you get that as a titanium ticket holder. On day 3, we focus on mastering real estate formulas, which means the 70%, the cash on cash, the sometimes we go over performers, sometimes we do the appraisal, sometimes we do the comps. Like, we take a deep dive into mastering all of the formulas of real estate so you can be educated. Somebody put educated in the chat right now. So by day 3, you should be extremely hard to beat when it comes to underwriting deals on the market. Okay. And as titanium, you're going to get a workbook where it's almost like 200 pages, if you would, or maybe 100, but I wrote it myself. I didn't just go in and wing it. I did it myself. Right. I wanted you guys to be able to leave the 5-day challenge with the information that you learn. I'm also going to give titanium. Somebody put titanium in the chat right now. I'm also going to give titanium to you guys, this project costing guide, right? So this is something that I created for my circle of investors, and they use this to be able to determine pricing on interior and exterior, okay? Now, again, different markets and different things, but these are the averages. So if you ever wondered, how can I tell if a contractor would give me the right numbers? Well, you got this pricing tool, and I'm sure you guys would love to be able to use that. Would this be helpful for you if you had this pricing tool? Put yes in the chat. A pricing guide to be able to tell you how much flooring you need, how much square footage, and all of that stuff. It was helpful for me. So then on day 4, I teach you about finding deals fast. Now, we have a software that we're partnered with, and they're coming in this week, one of these days, to talk to you guys about the software that we use to find the owners of abandoned properties and how we can go and acquire tax lien and tax deed properties. I'm telling you, you can buy real estate for $300 to $400. Absolutely. How, you didn't even know that? Somebody say, I'm in the room. I've been thinking this whole time I need thousands and thousands of dollars, but I'm in the room right now. I honestly thought I needed thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. No, they have tax deeds being sold every single day. And guess what? For all of you that's going to go titanium tonight, I'm going to give you, it's not on here, but write this down in the chat for me. I'm going to give you my 50 state tax sale playbook that I wrote. Okay. And it gives you all the type of graphics where you able to write down all the properties you bidding on. It tells you how to be able to bid on the properties. It tells you the percentages. It tells you how much you can make off a lien versus how much you can make off of a deed. I am telling you now that that is packed with so much information that it is worth what you coming for. Okay. You can't find it online because I don't sell it online. I have to personally give it to you. That's the only way you can get it. So as a titanium ticket holder, my word is you will get that, okay? So then we go, and now we're on day 5, right? Building your team. Why is this important? I have some of the smartest people on my team. I don't need to be the smartest in the room. I just got to have the right people on my team. And so I teach you guys how to scale past yourself. You'll learn how to build your systems and your team so real estate can run smoothly for you. How many of you would love to be able to learn from my team and build your own team? Literally, right? So after that session, what will you learn? You'll set up simple system to track leads, offers, and follow-ups. We have a way for you guys to have access to our CRM, our customer relationship management service, right? You also know which key team members you need right now. You may not need 100 people on your team or 10 people on your team or 5 people. You may need 3 people, but we help you figure that part out. How many of you would say, you know what, I would love to learn how to create a workflow that keeps me organized and ready to scale? By the end of day 5, you'll have the systems and the team blueprint to operate like a CEO. Are you ready to accept the challenge? All I need to know is from the decision makers, not the ones that's skeptical, the ones that said I'm all in and it's a yes. I need to know this. This is what I need, right? So let's do the 5-day challenge versus self-taught, because some of y'all are self-taught, okay? So the 5-day challenge, what allows is you get compressed learning in 5 focused days. That means my 22 plus years of training is compressed within 5 days, okay? If you're self-taught and you're gonna do it on your own, you're gonna remain slow, you're gonna remain inconsistent, and you're gonna be stretched over months and still don't know if you have the right results. Then you need the structure, which is a clear roadmap and a sequence that we help you provide in the 5-day property challenge. On your own, it's random information and scattered steps. You're like skipping steps. You're not even going in the right process, right? Then you have access, live access to me and my team. Do you understand how powerful that is? Okay. I charge $50,000, some $60,000. My business partner, Derek, paid me almost $100,000 in his transactions to have me coach him. Okay. That versus mostly isolated learning on your own. Okay. Accountability. Well, you already don't hold yourself accountable. You got a gym membership that you don't even attend. Who holding you accountable to that? You've been paying for a membership that you don't even go to, right? Well, at the 5-day challenge, you got the built-in momentum and the community. Some of you just need a community to be in, right? On the 5-day challenge, you get the clarity, real-time answers, real questions. On your own, you're still lingering. You're still trying to figure it out. You're confused, right? You get confidence built through guided action, through your workbook, through steps. Doubt grows when you're learning alone. Then you get, of course, the community surrounded by other builders. On your own, you're left alone, not just by yourself, but with your own fears, okay? Then you have the correction. This is one of the sweet spots for me, okay? Mistakes can be corrected early when you're in a 5-day property challenge, but mistakes on your own, they probably go unnoticed and cost you a lot of time and money. Then you have the energy, right? You surrounded by people that are on the same mission as you, along with people within my community who is there to root you on because they've been you at some point in time. Self-taught, it's hard to stay motivated alone, so you just quit. You don't even think about it anymore, right? Then you have the ROI, which is my favorite. You have a faster path to execution and results. How many of you want the faster path? You want the faster path to success. Just say me in the chat right now. You get to stand on my shoulders. You don't have to get it out the mud. You don't have to get it. You don't have to figure it out. You get to stand on the shoulders of your mentor to be able to get there a lot faster, right? Self-taught on your own is hidden costs. There's delays, there's wrong moves, there's everything. Somebody drop titanium in the chat right now, right? Titanium ticket only access, okay? What I am talking about is the titanium ticket level only, okay? So let's get into this. So the titanium ticket, there's 4 ticket tiers, guys, but titanium is the one where you get the most access. So you're gonna get 5 days of virtual training with me and my team. You're gonna get the bonus training with me and my specialty guests. You also get access to a private challenge only community. You also get the workbook, the titanium background, and other tools. They place you inside of a Telegram chat with me and other titanium members. You get a closed door virtual networking night via Zoom. You get access to be able to ask me Q&A. You also have a private dinner with me and my team with other titanium members. How many of you would love to go to a mastermind dinner with me and some of my friends? Just put me in the chat. Y'all, there's so much power when you get in the right rooms. Things that you've been wishing for, things you be hoping for, you don't feel crazy no more when you get in these rooms. You feel like you found your people. You feel like I found my family, I found my tribe. That's what that gives you, right? And then also we have the bonuses, which is I'm gonna give you a ticket to PC Live 26. That's my in-person conference. I'm also going to give you a ticket where you participate in our house giveaway at PC Live 2026, the tax sale playbook, the investor swag at PC Live 26, and my developers board game that I have right here that I developed and that I created, and my partners helped, right? But this is what titanium looked like. This here is access. So let's talk about it, right? The property challenge is going to be June 8th through June 12th. Don't worry if you can't make these dates, because we will have a replay and we will have, we'll give you guys times to be able to watch it. Now, it's not going to live forever. You got to put in the work, okay? You got to be able to go and do the work. That's why the challenge, when you say I accept the challenge, you have to accept the challenge, okay? So it's virtual. It's June 8th through the 12th. But guess what? I'm partnering with Habitat for Humanity. I sit on the board of directors for Habitat for Humanity, and I give away a house. For the past 4 years, I've been giving houses away. So the house giveaway at PC Live, you are entered to win. This house is valued at $30,000 as is, and even more when we finish renovating it. All ticket purchases include the house giveaway drawing. If chosen, you will work with me and my team, my banker, my attorneys to be able to get this property yielding the highest performance ever, okay? This is included with the ticket. Somebody say bricks in the chat. Somebody say bricks, okay? I don't want to just make you guys say, dang, I'm going to another event. No, there's opportunities in this room, okay? So then here, you're going to get a complimentary titanium ticket to PC Live 2026, which is July 31st through August 1st. I have not told you guys the price yet, but all of this is still in the titanium ticket. Now, what's good about this titanium ticket right here is, guys, listen to me with this. I just met with my team today on the layout for the property challenge. We have what's called an investor arena. Okay, you guys hearing it first on the summit. I talked about it a little bit on a few webinars, but not like what I'm about to do. We have the investor arena. That is going to be a room that I curate. I am putting builders. I am putting contractors. I am putting capital investors, people with money. I am putting people that got deals. And I'm also putting people in there that knows how to underwrite. I am putting all of y'all in the arena together. Now, y'all, how I see this arena going, because I love medieval shows like the old days. So, of course, I had to have this arena. And, of course, this is the Super Bowl of real estate anyway. So, I mean, we got to do it big, right? Well, what's amazing about this is that I want for everybody to leave with something, because real estate is not a one size fit all type shoe. I want somebody who needs a door to leave with a door, someone who needs direction to leave with direction, someone who needs financing to leave with financing, someone who needs a partner to leave with a partner. I need for everybody to leave with something. And guess what else? I said that I wanted something big this year. Big, big, big. And Brittany, get that video ready for me, because I want to be able to share that at the end of tonight. But I wanted to give you guys something so big this year, because I'm giving away the house, and that's cool. Okay, we got the investor arena. But guess what else I'm doing this year? I am giving $10,000 to close your deal. So you're going to come with a deal, and you're going to compete with other attendees, okay? And we're going to vote, and we're going to have a live voting where the audience is essentially going to choose who get the $10,000 to fund to close. Now, why am I doing that? Because I can. Because nobody did it for me. I'm going to do everything I can to give and be able to see people stand on shoulders. So that $10,000 is going to be fire. So $10,000 to pay for closing costs on your deal. How many of you could use that? Put me in the chat. How many of y'all could use that? Put me in the chat. All right, let's keep on going, because I want you guys to know this, right? So this is 2 powerful events for the price of one. You got the 5-day property challenge, where you already agreed to be a challenger, okay, which is June 8th through the 12th. And then you're going to meet me in Atlanta July 31st through August 1st to attend PC Live. And some of y'all are going to be competing for $10,000. And some of y'all are going to have the chance. Listen, I've never said this on nowhere, so you guys are getting it exclusive. We have never allowed anybody outside of the circle of investors to present a deal to us. This year, we are allowing a few lucky candidates to be able to apply to put a deal before me and my sharks. Okay? That right there is huge. If you've been at PC Live, you already know how big we do it. You already know you better come with your numbers. You better come with if you know you want to bring a deal to PC Live, you better be on that 5-day property challenge every single day, learning everything you possibly can. I promise you that you want to be on that 5-day challenge, right? But watch this. June 1st. You know how I say success leave receipts? I have receipts, and I want you guys to fly out here June 1st before we start the challenge. I want for you to fly out to Louisiana, and I want to take you on a property tour, and I want to answer your questions, and I want you to be able to underwrite deals on site. This room is very limited on space. It's not I will not lie to y'all. I have a huge studio. But in this studio, June 1st, 2026, this is included in your ticket, guys. You're probably like, oh my gosh, there's so much value in this ticket. If this ticket is over delivering, just put value in the chat. If you feel like this titanium ticket is like over delivering, put value in the chat. Do you know what your easiest investment is going to be? It's going to be to write the check. Do you know what the hardest investment for you is going to be? Yourself. Most of us quit on ourselves and keep going for others. Let this be the last year that you quit on yourself. Let this be the last year that you quit on yourself. Let this be the year where you no longer get tormented and are tortured. Let this be the year that you step into the right room. Somebody put room in the chat. If you're going to step into the room this year, right now, put room in the chat. I got to be in a room, Coach T. I understand how powerful these rooms are. So this is 3 events for the price of 1, which is wild. So let's recap this, right? So titanium, you get all of these added benefits, all right? Now you can understand. Let's just go straight to the bonus, okay? You get the private dinner with me and my team. That's in Atlanta, guys. That is not you coming to Louisiana on June 1st. That's a whole nother event. So you have the private mastermind dinner with the circle of investors, because we always throw a party for our circle of investors on the Friday night at PC Live, the in-person event. But you also get a chance and opportunity to come out here and do property tours with me and come underwrite deals in person. You also get to participate in the house giveaway. You also attend the 5-day property challenge, which is going to be starting in a few weeks. You also get the developer board game, the investor swag, and also the playbook. So let me ask you guys a question, right? Because for me, it's always like, who is this for? Like, who is this for? Like, when you're thinking about whenever you're doing all of this, who is this for? Well, this is for the people that says, I'm ready. I'm all in, Coach T. That's who it's for, right? Now, before I share the ticket price, okay, because everybody is like, oh my gosh, how much does this cost? Ask yourself this question. What would it be worth to have this kind of direct access, the education, and the support from me and my team? What would that be worth to you? Drop it in the chat. I want to see. Like, what would it be worth? What would it be worth for you to stop guessing? What would it be worth for you to stop guessing? To me, that is the biggest thing. Like, I would pay anything not to have to guess and try to figure it out, right? What would it be worth to have 5 days of direct access to me and my team, education, examples, support, a clear roadmap? What would that be worth for me and my team? So I'll tell you this. That's all it is today. It's not what it's worth. It's what I put the price at. $9.97. So today you get all of this titanium for $9.97. And I know that I needed to come back on here and share this with you guys because of the simple fact there was people that said, I need to get in the room tonight. I need to go ahead and sign and make my decision tonight. Now, $9.97 for me is free, okay, because I charge way more. But for 5 days and for 3 events, you get access to all of this. So my team is dropping the link right now, and you can go get your ticket right now. It's basically free. You're absolutely right. Basically free. Take this amount and divide it by everything you're going to get. It's basically free. But what's more important to me is to see who has the poor mindset. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Some of you are going to pass over opportunities constantly because you have a poor mindset, which is attached to poverty. And I told you guys, I can't touch anybody who got a poverty mindset who says I can't do something and I can't buy something and I can't afford it because it's contagious. And because I know poverty is contagious, you naturally will not see the benefit and or the value of what I'm giving you today. No matter what I present before you, it could be $10. Because poverty lives with you, you will question $10. But there are some of you who are some Davids in the room. There are some of you who got 5 rocks and a slingshot. There's some of you who came for the head of the giant. There's some of you who came to take territory. There's some of you who saying, this is the room that I need to be in. I pay to be everywhere else. Why can't I pay for my education? Why can't I pay to be in a room where people that's matching my future are already at? I came here for the head of the giant and I'm taking it today. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So I want for you to go right now, click the link and join. It's $9.97. I want you to say right now, this is a small number. I don't care if it's the biggest number you ever seen. It's a small number. Put it in the chat. It's a small number. Put it in the chat. It's a small number. Go ahead and say it, because when you start saying it, guess what? You start acting. And when you start acting, you start moving. And when you start moving, you start owning. The only way to own is by moving. This is a small number to pay for my education. I paid more in college. I'll tell you guys this. I personally, Terica Lynn Smith, to work with me one-on-one, I charge probably 100 times this amount. I know my value. I know what I can help you do. I know what my team can help you do. I know what we've done already. I know where you're headed and I know what's going to take place. So because I know my value, I would never budge on it. I would never budge on it. And I would never ask you to budge on your value. So you make the decision according to, do you feel that this is where you need to be? This is the challenge that you need. And this is the journey that you need to be on. If 997 was all it was keeping you away from guessing and getting to ownership and being able to be a real estate investor, is it worth it? Put in the chat, is it worth it? If 997 is the amount you have to pay to get to where you want to be, is it worth it? Because for me, having to take the real estate exam 7 times, it was worth it. Not knowing how I was going to pay for the next test, but I already had booked the date. Sometimes we just got to do what we have to do in this season, scared without all of the resources, and just know that this is the first step. This is the first strategy. This is the first decision that I have to make moving forward. For me to get out of this poverty mindset and to step away from poverty, I have to make a faith deposit. Right now, this faith deposit is requiring me to say, I'm going to learn and I'm going to show up for 5 days and I'm going to do everything I have to be able to stay, not just get in the room, stay in the room. And I tell you this, every last one of you who's joining Titanium right now, I want you to do me a favor. Don't show up without no deals. Don't come to Lafayette without no deals. You show up ready. You show up ready to move forward, ready to keep going. Brittany, come charge my computer. Let me keep on going. Comment now in the chat if you're joining. Like, let me know. Say, Coach T, I'm working on it. Put joining in the chat right now. I'm joining. I'm working on it. I'm building this up. I'm in this. I am joining this assignment. Right? So then these are some of the speakers that we have. But guys, I don't want you to invest because of speakers. All right? I want you guys to invest because you need the meat and potatoes. These are great celebrities and a lot of them are my clients. You don't see me on the internet bragging about who I work with. You don't see that. But just so you can see real receipts, Darius Daniels, I have a lot of people, right? Eric Thomas' mom, Tiffany Montgomery, B. Simone, David Shantz, Nehemiah Davis, some of the greats, right? Somewhere they said, hey, I want all in. I want all in. Now, this is what I love, right? I've built a table where you can have a seat at. Name another room that's filled with the caliber of people that I'm telling you that's going to be able to help accelerate you, that you can get in at this rate. I'll wait. Right? So I know everybody cannot do 997. How many of you saying, Coach T, I cannot do 997? First of all, your word is not good. We're going to change that on the 5-day challenge. Don't worry. I'll be your coach and I'll be spicy. I'll be spicy, okay? We're going to ask for some heavenly deposits, okay? We're going to ask for some mailbox money, okay? But watch this. No matter what this price is you see up here, I don't want you to purchase a tier based off of price. I want you to purchase a tier based off of what you need. Do you need access? Then you need to be Titanium. Do you need accountability and maybe just the community? Then maybe you need Platinum. Do you need the workbook and maybe a few little extra perks? Then maybe you're VIP. Maybe all you can do is just get in the room for $97. Maybe that's all you can do. Right? But for $97, I'm sure if you look at your bank statement, you can go pull out $50 worth of items, probably $100 worth of items, and say, wow, this is where my $97 went on non-essentials, right? Titanium is the most access. It's the most proximity, okay? It's where if you need hand holding, if you need more access, if you need to be able to ask questions, you need to hear more questions, Titanium is where you need to be because you get to show up and get your hand held for a day, okay? In person. You'll be more equipped for the 5-day property challenge by being Titanium because you're going to get a head start on the information you're going to get at the 5-day property challenge. Some of you are going to say, I can do platinum right now, and then I'm going to upgrade to B titanium. Well, do what you have to do. But guess what? You still get access to the community. Can I tell you what's a win about all of this? Again, don't purchase based off of the dollar sign. Purchase off of what your need is, because I came to solve a problem. I need to solve your problem so you can go ahead and start doing the real estate investing. Every last one of these tickets, come with a house giveaway entry. You'll be entered to be a part of the house giveaway. There's nobody on here who can say, I can't afford $97. Yes, you can. You just don't want to invest in your education. I don't believe nobody on here should be able to say, I can't afford $997. But I understand sometimes we're not good stewards of the finances, and we're going to get better because we know who our daddy is. We know who our daddy is. That's right. I love it. Claim it, baby. Claim that house. All right. So all that matters is this. Pick a tier and start now. This is your first investment assignment. This is the first decision you're going to make. Am I going to be a property challenger? Am I going to challenge myself to get this ticket? Am I going to do it? Am I going to challenge myself to, hey, maybe I start at platinum and upgrade to titanium. Maybe I start at VIP and upgrade to platinum and then titanium. Challenge. You said you ready for the challenge, and you said, I'm going all in. That's what you said. Now, do it. Be a doer of your word. That's what real estate is. You have to be a doer of your word. If you say you're going to do it, then you got to do it. If you say you're going to do it, you have to do it. But let's not keep being a fraud to ourselves. We say we're going to do one thing, and then we end up not doing it at all. But I'll tell you this would be one of the best investments you make in yourself if you put in the work and you do what you need to do. So we have flexible payment plans for you guys. Don't go put yourself in unnecessary debt. I don't need your money, so don't go do this because you love Terica. Do this because you want to change your life. Do this because this is going to help you and your family get ahead. Do this because this is going to end the cycle. Do this because you're breaking generational curses. Do this for every reason that you need for yourself, but not to come and meet me. Don't do it because of that. Do it because you know this is what it's going to take to end the cycle in your family. So I understand that these payment plans are little stepping stones, right? But don't take a stepping stone if you're not going to use it. Don't take a stepping stone if you're not going to do it. Take the stepping stone and multiply it. Make it work. Make it do something for you, right? So go to the link right here. My team is dropping the link again. Go get your ticket. Go get your ticket. And I'm going to ask Michael to come up here and talk with us and bring up my brother Marcus. He's so good. I can't wait for you guys to hear him. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Well, y'all, thank you, Terica, for coming up and starting that second half for us and getting us into the property challenge. Who's going to be joining the property challenge? Just put working on it in the chat if you're working on it. Before we bring up our next guest speaker, I just want to go ahead and shout out a few individuals who are in the room that have already said, you know what, I'm taking that leap. I'm taking that jump. I'm going full force into this. Shout out to Ty Green for just jumping in. Adora just jumped in at titanium. Steven just got titanium. Bonita just jumped in at the highest level. Regis Johnson just jumped in. Sherry Cannon. Man, you all are moving fast. I love it. I love it. So, somebody says, can you answer my question? Dr. Teresa, I don't know what your question is, but just a few questions we get frequently that I'll answer real quick before we bring up Marcus to end out the night. A lot of people ask, hey, is this for me? I'm just a beginner. It sounds like this is a lot of information, but I feel like I may be overwhelmed. Listen, we got you. Majority of the people that come through this challenge, just so you know, are brand new. 75 to 80% plus, I would say. Derek, we actually need to pull the numbers on that. But I would say 75 to 80% plus of the individuals that come through the doors of the property challenge have never done it. A majority of them, I would say almost 100% of them, by the time they go through it, they're saying, I'm so glad I did that. You don't have to have real estate knowledge. And for those of you all that are here that are wondering, you don't have to have a real estate license. So I know a lot of people, they come to us and they say, do I have to have a real estate license to do this? No, no, you don't. No, and you don't. We show you how to invest without it. And in some cases, it may actually slow you down. So you don't have to have a real estate license. You don't have to have experience because we walk you through A to Z in the 5 days how to start your real estate investment journey. Now, some people say, well, what if I'm here? I'm part of that 20% or so that does have experience. Should I join? The answer is yes, because you're going to build relationships, and real estate thrives off of relationships. You're not only going to get the relationships, you get to ask Terica questions. She has over 1,000 real estate units. I think you can learn from somebody like that. So I would say get in the room for the relationships, get in for the expanded knowledge that you're going to find, and the proximity to Terica. Now, just a few other things before I bring Marcus up. Some people are saying, hey, can you show us the website? So I am going to just share my screen real quick. Oh, Anna just jumped in. Shout out to Anna for jumping in to the property challenge at Titanium. Everybody put congrats in the chat. But real quick, I just want to share my screen and show you guys when you go here, you're going to get really, y'all, this is phenomenal. The virtual 5 day challenge and the in-person conference. It's crazy. Two main events, big events for the price of one. So when you go here, you're just going to click this red button and you can come down and you can choose the titanium experience. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to fill out this form. And on the next step, after you hit go to step 2 right here, you're going to be able to choose on this next step Klarna Afterpay. For those of you all that want buy now, pay later options, it can stretch out your tickets, the 2 tickets for the price of one. It can stretch it out over potentially 3, 6, 9, 12 months if you need that. All right. It's not for everybody, but for those of you all that need it, it's there and it's accessible for you. Now, let me answer Teresa's question. I gotta find Teresa, so my bad, Teresa. I didn't forget you. I placed my question in the original post. Not sure where that post is, Teresa, so you may have to resend it to me. All right, so the link is below. It's thepropertychallenge.com if you want to jump in. If you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else, just go to thepropertychallenge.com. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you all work on this because I want to honor our time. Okay, they answered the question, amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and welcome up our guest speaker. I'm gonna come up at the very end. I may answer more questions about this because I want to make sure that you all have the utmost clarity. So I'm gonna come at the end to answer some questions. Plus, I may bring in 1 or 2 people that actually went through the challenge to share their stories. Is that okay with you guys? Would you like if I brought on maybe 1 or 2 people to come share their property challenge story with you? Okay, I see yes in the chat. I love it. I love it. So while you guys are working on grabbing your ticket, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. Let me just verify that he is in the room. Okay, he's here. The next speaker I'm about to bring up, y'all. I love you, Terica, but I truly believe Marcus Y. Rozier is whenever it comes to how you articulate words and how you connect with the heart whenever it comes to speaking. Terica, you're passionate. And I love the energy you bring, but Marcus Y. Rozier, he does something different to me. Every time I hear this individual speak, Marcus Y. Rozier, he connects in a different way. I'm just like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think that way? So who you're about to learn from is a business mogul. He's an investor himself. He doesn't always brag about it, but he's a business owner, investor, and he's going to come up and share the secrets that will separate you from the 99, how you can become the 1%, how you can separate yourself and actually achieve the results you want in real estate. All right. So are you guys ready for Marcus Y. Rozier to come? Look, Terica, she's phenomenal as well, right? I'm just saying, but Marcus, well, every time I hear this speak, you can tell he's a professional speaker. And you can just tell that he's put years and years and years and years in this craft. So T, I love you. Marcus Y. Rozier is in the room, y'all. Are y'all ready? Put a fire emoji in the chat. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you're excited. We need some high energy in here tonight because he's sacrificing his Thursday night to come serve you and pour into you. And I think it's only right that we lead with high energy. So, Marcus, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up to this stage, brother. Let's go ahead and get this Thursday night started. I just clicked on mute for you, brother, and I just made you co-host. So we're good to go.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Can y'all hear me okay? I want to make sure my audio is right. Can y'all hear me? Say yes, yes, yes. If you can hear me, yes. If you can hear me, okay. I love the energy in here. Can y'all do me one quick favor? I want to maximize the time that I have, and I want to honor your time for a multitude of reasons. I want to make sure that I honor my sister, my family, my friend, Terica Lynn Smith. I know that you all are here because you honor and respect her, but I got to give her flowers. And here go the beautiful thing that I've got to say. I was talking to my wife this weekend. She came with me to speak on Sunday, and I was giving her kudos from stage. And I used to laugh at people when they would do that, like, "Why they got to do all that? Like they ain't just come here with that person." But I get it now, and I'm a little older. But I was telling her, I was like, you know what's dope about making a couple dollars? You don't have to say nothing you don't mean. Like, I'm at a place in my life where I've been so blessed that I would say nothing before I say something I don't mean. What I'm saying about Terica Lynn Smith, when I say hands down, somebody to give you the shirt off their back. And the reason why I believe she's so passionate, because she's not okay with people living beneath what she knows their potential is. It's almost like, how would you say it to somebody? How would you say it to someone if they were standing in the road about to be hit by a car, God forbid? Would you say it calm, like, hey, excuse me, I love you, I don't want to raise my voice? Or would you scream to make sure they get out of the way? I believe because she comes from poverty, she knows, just like a car about to run over you, how poverty runs over people and leave them damaged before they even know what happened to them. So I think her passion comes from that. That's why I celebrate her, because I know what she makes in real estate, at least some gist. I don't know all of it. I don't be counting her pockets, but I know how many properties and hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. If I, from real estate, made hundreds of thousands a month, I wouldn't be in here teaching. You know what I'm saying? So one more time for my sister, Terica Lynn Smith. Now, here's the question we got to ask as we get to know each other, because y'all just met me. You like, who is this guy? Now, I see one of my cousins just said something. Now, I'm from Florida, but I live in Atlanta, so we used to do something called Snap It and Jones. Somebody said I look like Ricky Smiley. Don't get me to talk about you. All right. Ricky, look, he was this handsome. Camera 2, you're hot. Boy, it looks baby sensitive skin. Whoever said that? Is your glasses on? Okay. I'm just playing. So can y'all make me feel safe and feel at home and just say, hey, cousin Marcus, just so I feel at home. This is a family reunion. Can you, hey, cousin Marcus. Hey, cousin Marcus. See, y'all ain't following instructions. I said, hey, cousin Marcus. Hey, y'all tell me, hey, cuz. See, that's lazy fingers. Just can't do right. Just can't do right. There we go. Hey, cousin Marcus. There we go. Well, now since you know my name, I see you. I'm gonna be calling your names. I see you, Tiffany. I see you, Shirley. I see you, Jean. I see you, Mark. I see you, Destiny. I see you, Amanda. Okay, I can't call everybody's name. I sound like a DMX song. Well, then it's Linda, Letitia, Don, LaShawn. Okay, my bad. We're just getting to know each other. So, since it's a family reunion and I've taken like 4 of my minutes, before I say anything, we got to figure out what would make, if y'all know how selective Terica is of who speaks to her audience, because anytime you build trust with people and they come, you are transferring trust when you put somebody else on stage. It's equivalent to co-signing on a loan. So why would she co-sign for Marcus to come in the room? We got to understand that before I even start teaching anything, because you won't even understand it. It's okay if I share with you, like, what would make Terica invite me? What would make her co-sign? Put her brand, her reputation on the line to say, before she got off, I can't wait to hear my brother. Like, what would make her do that? I had the blessed privilege as well of sitting with Terica some years ago and being able to kind of coach a little bit surrounding communication, because we all have things that we know, but learning how to communicate what we know in a way for learning styles, behavior patterns, things of that nature, right? But here's my point. I see character, things of that nature. Here's the character ain't enough, because we all know nice people that we wouldn't invite. We'll say, come support us and sit on the sideline. Here's the reality. I've had the blessed privilege of running, like at this point, building not 1, not 2, but 3 multi-million-dollar companies across 3 different industries. A consulting company that has worked with startup pharmaceutical companies, that has groundbreaking products, that has topical creams and things of that nature, and moved them into markets, added into treatment plans, and scaled it to where they were trying to build $100 million company, and they paid me $250,000 to consult them. not to mention whether it's attorneys and physicians or my coaching business, as well as businesses I'm partnered in. So I am not just a person who gets the blessed privilege of speaking. I am a business owner that has built 3 multi-million-dollar companies that have over 27 employees on one of those companies. Now, coupled with that, I'm a little ambidextrous because I used to teach Bible study and pastor a church. So I'm kind of like Denzel and Preacher's Wife and American Gangster. And I used to be in the streets and sell that stuff back in the day. You know, I'm kind of like Dudley and Preacher's Wife and Frank Lucas and American Gangster. I'm a little, okay. So diversity. It was like, so I don't know if y'all gonna get business right now, if you're gonna get a sermon, or if we're gonna laugh and have a good time. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come out. Okay. I don't know if the rapper in me is gonna come out. My rap name, Savion Blanc. You can call me SB for short. I'm just playing. Okay. Now we understand that. Now we understand the context of that. From faith to business, we built some things and we've invested some things. As of yesterday, my wife and I just closed on what we would call our dream home, a brand new home that she loves on down the line. So from investing to properties, I bought my first house at 19 years old. Like that's how long I've been in the space. Okay. I don't really like doing that, but if y'all are anything like me, cousins, whenever somebody's talking to me, I'm thinking in my head, I'm not rude, but I'm old enough and I got a 2-year-old baby, well, 3-year-old baby girl and a wife and family. I don't like to waste my time. So I'm wondering, who are you and why should I listen to you? So long before you start teaching me and talking at me, you got to prove and validate that just because you're good in your space, are you good for me? So can I ask y'all, do you feel like I can share with you some things that took me from $11.37 in a Regions bank account in Tallahassee, Florida, to multi-millions? Can I share with you some things that happened in those gaps? Do you think that there's some lessons I learned, like $11.37 off of Appalachia Parkway? I got to give streets because people be capping. When I hear people on the internet, I'm like, tell your story. What street was it on? Appalachia Parkway. Yeah, Regions Bank, right there in Tallahassee by Governor Square Mall. I got details. From $11.37, you feel me, to being where I am now. Okay. Of course you can help me. Cool. Well, since y'all said we cousins, and that took me 8 minutes because I'm monitoring my time, we got to have a family reunion real quick. So that means we all got to come on in the room. Come on, cousins. It's a family reunion. I see you, Tiffany Foster. Like it's a family reunion. Now I got a couple rules for this family reunion since it's my room right now. Those black screens kind of scare me because I'm from Florida. So it's kind of like you pulling up with a black mask. I'm like, so to my black screen people, can you come on screen, please? You are smart, kind, and important. It don't matter if you frying chicken, driving in the car, whatever you're doing. There you go. You fine. If you at home cooking, Junior, I'm on a call. Yeah, invest. Yeah, whoever you got to talk to, do it just like that. Okay, there we go. Since we're having a family reunion, I want to ask your permission to talk to you like family. Do I have your permission? Do I have your permission? Yes. Okay. I ain't gonna come in all the way hot because y'all gonna be like, we cousins, but we ain't cousins. Here's my first challenge to you. My very first challenge as family and as cousins. Do you feel that the place that you're in life right now is where God has you or where life dropped you off and you settled? Come on. Do you feel like if you were riding Uber, where you was in the back seat of Uber, do you feel like where you currently are in life right now, that God said, this is where I want you at? He dropped you off. Hey, get out right here. This you'll stop. And I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, financially. I'm not just talking about spiritually, you good with him. I'm talking about you good in every other area. John 3 said, brother, 1 John, I wish above all that you would prosper and be in health as your soul prosper. Amplified and Message version, New Living Translation says, I know that you're spiritually well, but how are you in every other area? So I ain't just talking about how you are spiritually. I'm talking about how are you in every other area of your life. So do you feel like the place that you are in right now, is it where God has you or where life dealt you a bad blow? Like something jumped off. Somebody made a decision that impacted your life. I'm talking about another grown adult decided to lay off, and their decision became your calamity that put you in a position that frustrates you, hit you hard, financially made you take a loss. Or Was it somebody that was just trifling? Like you was in love with them, helped them out, they took everything, put you, it's like, that's a real question. So let's reverse it. Do you feel like it is like you're where you are in life? Let's locate ourselves, because long before I start layering this, I got to figure out where you are. And everybody's not in the same place. Some people, you good. You got 99 problems and money ain't one. But some of you, all 99 of them is money. Okay. We got to deal with both. Are you where you feel like God has you, where life drop you off and you settle? Come on, holla at me. Where you at? Number one or number two? Life drop you off and you settle. You like, and let me explain. Y'all with your cousin? I told you this. We in for a roller coaster ride. You're like, "Ooh, I didn't know we was talking emotionally." It's like we sat down on the couch and I said, "Hey, Uncle Junior." Yeah, he got locked up. And you're like, well, Uncle Junior. Okay, that was a little heavy. All right. I'm joking but serious at the same time. So here's what I mean. When I say where life drop you off and you settle, I am communicating to you that there are times that you could start doing something temporarily. And in your mind, when you start it, you say, this is temporary. Like a friend of mine who moved back home from I'm born and raised in Panama City, Florida, grew up in Tallahassee, and then I live in Atlanta and been in Fort Lauderdale, so I'm a Florida boy, right? But he moved back to Panama City. And he said, he was living in Atlanta. He said, it's temporary. I'm gonna just go back, get myself together, stack some money, live with my people, them. You know, I'm from a little country, live with my people and them for a while, stack my money, then I'm coming back. Well, I talked with him recently. It's been like 7 years. And he came and hung out with me in Atlanta for a little while. And I was like, bro, so what's going on? What's the situation? Here's what he said to me, Mark. Mr. Tucker, he said, man, I'm ready to get back to Atlanta. Panama City's small. I feel like mentally, I'm in a bad place. Nobody want anything. How you all are, I need to be around this type of energy. I said, so what are you waiting on to move? He said, I'm praying about my next move. I said, please hear what I'm saying. And hear what I'm saying, y'all. I challenged him because this is the way I am when I love you. I said, you didn't pray about moving back home. You made a decision based on finance, but you know you want to move back to Atlanta. So why you got to pray about what you want, but not pray about what you don't want? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Here's what happened. Life dropped him off in Panama City and he settled. And now he got to be convinced to pursue the dream and the life he always wanted. Because when he went there, he said it's temporary, but now he's settled in. I'm going to work this job for a little while, but a little while became 7 years. I'm going to live in this place for a little while, but a little while. So that's why I asked you, is it where life dropped you off when you settle? And now you have to be convinced to go after the life you want, but you don't have to be convinced to settle in the life you're in. Tap. I'm peeping a disconnect and it's not my internet. Can y'all hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I see, sheesh, Lord. Okay, that was heavy. That was too much. Christina Braxton, we okay. Alicia Gardner, we okay. Shirley Wilson. I think we just need a second to hold hands and we just need to pray. Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. Okay, I was speaking in tongues. Oh, my bad. That's Lion King. See, we gotta laugh a little. That's the communicator in me that realized we were emotionally heavy. So I'm using the skill of communication to bring us up. So now I can transition to teach. Okay. All right. We good. Now that we know where we are, we located ourselves. And we said, Cousin Marcus, I feel you. Life dropped me off and I settled. Or for some of you, you're like, bro, that don't hit me. I don't feel like it's where God has me. I don't feel like it's where life dropped me off and I settled. I haven't figured out how I got here. Let me tell you, your decisions led you there. Your decisions. So last year, this time, and I haven't even got to teaching y'all this whole piece that I'm going to talk to you about, like to generate, to become, like to increase your net worth and your actual revenue. We're going to talk about that today. But last year, this time, my birthday's next week, May 17th. Last year, this time, y'all, I was 205 pounds. 205 pounds. I was 28% body fat, working like crazy, building businesses, traveling. I speak over 200 sometimes a year and run multiple companies and partnerships. It takes a lot to do what I do. Plus, I got a podcast, two of them actually, entrepreneur, speaker, and more got my money. So you got to think, I produce content, you name it, right? So here's my point. 205 pounds. I kept saying, with all that I have going on, I don't have time to be in that gym all day like that. I got my staff meetings at 9 o'clock. I got that. Whenever I make excuses, that's what I hear in my head. I hear a dude tell me, man, I ain't got no time to. That's just what I hear in my head. How am I going to the gym at 9 o'clock when I got staff meeting at 10 o'clock? And then I got to take a shower. Then I got to drive in Atlanta traffic. Right? Just all these excuses. Are y'all okay with me having fun and teaching at the same time? I don't know. Some of y'all look like you mad at yourself for laughing. You're like, it's okay. It's okay. Show on. Camera 2, you're hot. Just show your smile. Okay. All right. But I was 205 pounds, 20-something% body fat. And I kept pushing, getting in shape into the future. I never pulled it into my present. Say it again. I kept pushing, getting in shape into the future. It wasn't that I didn't want it. It wasn't that I didn't want to be that person swimming in the pool in the summer with my shirt on. I want to take my shirt off. So I wanted the result. Y'all playing too much. You got to be serious for a second. Stop playing. Okay. I wanted to get in shape, but I didn't want to work out. So how did I want the result, but didn't want to take the action? And I keep saying busyness led me to being overweight when really my decisions did. Here's what I concluded. Now watch this now. 90 days later, y'all, I started just every day walking. I would walk in the morning and pray. Get up before my family would get up, and I would get up and walk outside and pray. Then I started going to the gym. 45 minutes, that's it. I'm like, this wasn't too hard. I looked up and I went from 205 pounds, 20-some% body fat. Now I'll flash forward to now. I got on scale today. I'm 171 pounds, 11% body fat. Hold on. 205 to 171. I was 175 sometime last week. Hold on, bro. That's over 30 pounds. And watch this. All my businesses grew. I adjusted my work time and my staff got better. Why? Because I started communicating and planning my life around the value of me and my life. Because what hit me is what was best for the company is what's best for me. What was best for my family is what's best for me. What was best for my future was what's best for me. So when I made a decision to value me, the value of the company went up. Because I realized my COO was doing better when she led the meetings versus me. So now they were coming up with ideas that I wasn't present for. All I did was push my meeting back, let them meet at 10. I'll meet y'all when I leave the gym. Now watch this, y'all. Watch this. And this is what I've said recently. Someone asked me, it's like, bro, how do you feel now that you've gotten in shape, you're doing all these other things, you're traveling like crazy, your podcast popping off, your YouTube growing, etc. And I said, my life and my finances will look like my choices. My health looks like my choices. I don't know if y'all are getting this. I'm not talking about working out. I'm talking about getting the result you want in life. My health looks like my daily choices. When I was out of shape, my body looked like my choices. When I was broke, my finances looked like my choices. Now that I've generated some wealth and I'm a first generation millionaire, my money looks like my choices. And I'm telling you, if you're trying to locate where you are, sometimes decisions drive you somewhere or indecision drops you off somewhere. So for some of us, we're living inside our decisions. For some of us, we're living inside indecision, where we keep, let me use the word incorrectly, making a mess and leaving it for the future us to clean up. Oh my goodness, that was so good. We keep making financial messes and saying next year I'll clean it up. Guess what? Next year is the future version of you. So why would you leave a mess for a version of you that is a year older to clean up? Indecision is a decision. But watch this. Indecision is a decision, which means the future you got to clean up the mess that the current you didn't clean up. And it's going to be harder to go backwards and retroactively do what you should do now. Good gracious of life. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know if y'all are understanding your cousin. I don't know if y'all understanding your cousin. All of that was just my warm-up. That was like my meat meal introduction. Now it's, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. We got a transition right here. Now, when I told y'all that, figuring out where you are, I am the type of communicator that never feels like you should talk at people, you talk with them. Everything I'm sharing with you is nothing more than me sharing my journal. Because everything I'm sharing with you is something that I live. So I'm not talking at you. I'm revealing my journal because I was there. So I'm not saying you, I'm saying we. Life dropped me off at Florida State University. And I said, man, I'm gonna work here for a little while and then I'm gonna start my business. I looked up and 5 years later, I was still working there because life dropped me off and I settled. And then I tried to over spiritualize it. So then I was fasting and praying for a $2 raise. That never came. The greatest thing that ever happened in my life is God did not answer the prayer to give me a $2 raise. Here's why. Because at that time, I never believed enough in myself to want success. All I wanted was an easier struggle. I just wanted enough money to pay all my bills in the same month. So I didn't have enough belief in me or in God to believe for more or for success. I just wanted an easier struggle. So I'm fasting and praying for a $2 raise, and God's greatest gift to me was to not answer a mediocre prayer that was based out of settling. Like $2, you can do that on your own. You don't need me for that. That's like saying, hey, come over here and help me lift this ink pen. That's too light for me. You can lift that. You gifted. You talented. You got enough skill. You got enough ability. You don't need God. You don't need my help for no $2 raise. Now you're letting human laziness get dressed in spirituality and asking me to use prayer as a get out of work free card. Good gracious of life. That was me. I'm not talking at you. That was me. That was me making it rain on offering baskets because it was easier to give tithe than it was to have belief in myself and pursue my business. And tithe was never used for a person to not invest in their business. It was easier to talk to God than it was to pull out my phone and create content and talk to my future customers and clients. Well, Jesus paid for salvation, but he don't pay invoices. he my Jireh, he my provider. But guess what? He not my client. So you're going to have enough belief in yourself to market yourself and stop talking to me and start talking to your customers. Send the email, Marcus. Send it to the corporation and ask them for 6 figures. Send it to the company and tell them to pay you $25,000 to speak and see if they give it to you. Send it to Orlando, Florida, to the neurological clinic that you found out in Panama City that's having a big old conference and you want to speak at it. And you found out their speaker budget is $25,000 and you're making $30,000 a year. Send the email. I sent it. They booked me to speak. I made $25,000 to speak for 45 minutes. That's when I was mentally unemployable. Because I said, hold on. Y'all flew me first class to Orlando, Florida, put me up in a suite, paid for my food, gave me $250 a day per diem to add it to the room and $25,000 and bought out every book I had. And I got to leave from there I went there on Friday, called out from work, was there Friday. They said, you can stay all weekend if you want. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, went back to work on Monday, and y'all paying me $30 for the year? Hold on. I just sold all my books. I took 1,000 books with me at $20 a pop. I made $20,000 at that event selling books and $25 for speaking. Hold on. I just made more in 45 minutes than I'm gonna make all year long. I'm sitting there at work like I wish y'all would, per my last email me in here. I was sitting there walking around like I wish you would fix your lips to ask me why I'm late. But guess what? I was still afraid to leave the job. I didn't quit. I stayed another 3 years. How many of y'all think that's crazy? Like, why didn't you leave? Because guess what fear told me? How you know you're going to get a few more speaking engagements? What if you don't get no more? Good cousins. Because this is what you start realizing. This is what you start. Can I teach this? Because I got 18 minutes. 18. I'm going to take 12. I'm going to cut my time down. Can I take 12 minutes? Can I take 12 minutes? Who could hear me sharing my heart with you and realize there's a lot of you inside of me? My story sounds like your story, that fear. That's why I say I talk with you, not at you. Why? Because when we started and I asked you where you are, you thought I was talking at you. No, I was just trying to make sure you didn't get dropped off where I got dropped off in life and settle there. I'm circling the block and coming back to get you, cousin. Like I'm hopping in the car. Now that I'm not at $11.37, now that I make 6 figures a year from my businesses, across all 3 businesses, I get paid on the 1st and 15th, and I get a bonus every month. Why? We are S Corp. I'm on salary. So all 3 businesses pay me a check. Guess what else was so beautiful about business? Each of the businesses, if it leverages my name, my brand, my image, must pay a licensing fee every month for using the name Marcus Y. Rozier, because Marcus Y. Rozier is an LLC and it's a trademark brand. So that means my consulting company, if it uses my intellectual property that is copyrighted and trademark, has to pay me a fee for being me, even though I'm the CEO of the companies. Boy, we've come a long way. So I get a paycheck on the 1st and the 15th, and I get a bonus every month from all 3 companies, and again, every quarterly. I get 6 figures from all 3 companies, but they my companies. Well, we come a long way. That thing different when you can pay yourself. You know, I sat with me and decided I deserve a raise. Oh, this is good. So to get to this place, but guess what, y'all? I didn't know none of this was possible. Ignorance would never taught me how to structure a company of this size. I would have never realized that holding on to money is losing money. Because at this level of business, if I got a bunch of money in our savings account, they go. One of my companies, we was about to owe $300,000 in taxes. Guess what we had to do in order to lower the bill? Spend it. So I got the chance to go to conferences, 100% tax write-off. I'm not a CPA, but it was. I had a chance to invest in masterminds. I went to a golf thing in Phoenix, Arizona. I went to a net worth seminar. Why did I go there in December? Because I was paying full freight to go to them and flight, because I get a chance to meet people that will become my clients next year and I can write it off. So basically, Uncle Sam let me spend money for free. What I'm telling you is your relationship with money and your education changes when you grow. This is why you can't think the way you think at one level, because every level of money has a new language. If you want to be a millionaire, me can't speak on no brokey. Oh, no. No, oh no, man, no. Me don't speak of no brokey. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Let me tell you what language broke sounds like. Broke does this. We got to write this down. Broke makes withdrawal statements. I got to use my word, withdrawal statements. Like if you go to the bank and you have a withdrawal slip. Withdrawal statements. That's the language of and when I say broke, I'm not talking about a dollar amount. I'm talking about a mindset that believes that there's not enough. They don't just believe that they don't have enough. Totally different. It's one thing to look at my account and say, okay, this isn't enough for what I need. It's another to believe that there is not enough out there and pursue it. That's the difference. It's one thing to say I have no water at the house. It's another to not believe that there's no such thing as water nowhere and you can't go to the grocery store. Broke believes that nobody got water because you don't have water. Broke believes nobody has it because you don't have it. See the difference? Now watch this. What's a withdrawal statement? Man, I can't afford it. Notice how that is a statement that withdraws from creativity, and humanity functions off of creativity and asking questions. So it's a withdrawal statement because it shuts down, let's go deep for a second, neural pathways. Where the human brain needs a neural pathway for thoughts to travel down, for it to find creative ways for you to see things, explore things, come up with new ideas. Let's go heavier with this. Have you ever bought a car? And can I think out loud, y'all? Can we just think a little bit? Have you ever bought a car and realized you start seeing that car all over the road? Like you bought a Honda and you're like, everybody got a Honda. They don't. You bought an Acura and you're like, everybody got an Acura. They don't. You bought a Nissan, you're like, everybody got a Nissan. They don't. What happened is it is your reticular activating system. It is known as your RAS for short, reticular activating system. It is a part of the brain that filters out something that is not pertinent to you, but causes the brain to focus on something that is an active part of your life. Get it? Now, when you make a withdrawal statement, you just blocked out everything, and the only thing you see is lack. The more you use withdrawal statements, speaking broke language, you're training your mind to spot what you don't have, not look at what you could have. Good gracious of life. Now, what's rich? Rich asks deposit questions. Look at the difference. I can't afford it. Shuts down neural pathways. How can I afford it? Opens up the brain to start exploring new thoughts. I can't afford it. Brain shut down. How can I afford it? Creativity. Oh, well, okay. Well, here, okay. You sit in the thought and creativity comes. Rich asks deposit questions. It deposits ideas into your mind. I'm almost out of time. Oh, I'm almost out of time. Oh, I'm almost out of time. I wish I had time. Oh, I'm almost out of time. Can I stay right here for just 1 second? Y'all bored? Y'all okay? Okay. I ain't know what y'all was doing over there. I was just making sure y'all all right over there. Y'all all right? Everybody good? Your mama good? Daddy good? That's what we say in the South. Hi, everybody. Mama them good. Cousin them good. Everybody all right? Okay. We all good? Y'all thinking with you with your cousin? Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. When I say deposit questions, y'all got to excuse me for a second. I got to move from being consultant, coach, communicator to teaching. Can I reference the Bible for a second? Y'all okay if I talk about Jesus? Can I present some good ghetto gospel? That's the only kind of gospel I like. I like a good old ghetto gospel. Okay. Well, one of the things I'm studying in my devotional time, is that okay? Can y'all give me like five seconds to close the door? Everybody give me $20. Okay. So watch this real quick. The reason why I'm talking about, here's the anchor thought so I don't lose you. We're talking about asking deposit questions. We're talking about asking deposit questions. We're talking about asking deposit questions. Now watch this. I'm in my devotional time. I am a pragmatist. I'm the type of person that can't learn or read or watch anything if I can't find a practical way to do it. I don't like things that are theory. I'm not a big fan of motivation, things of that nature. Like, I like practical. Give me specific things to do with my hands, not just something to write down and learn in my mind. That's me. That's how I rock. So even now in a second, I can't leave here without some step-by-steps. But I've given you some. I'm giving you some step-by-step or it's going to drive me crazy. So watch this. This whole idea of asking deposit questions, when I'm reading the Bible, I write a devotional every morning. And it's just like some stuff I write down for me. I don't put it out. So one of the things I'm studying, Mark Tucker, one of the things I'm studying, Sherry Cannon, one of the things I'm studying, Rebecca Miller, one of the things I'm studying, Pamela McDonald, I'm tracing throughout the whole Bible every place where divinity asks humanity a question, meaning when God asks people a question. That's what I'm studying. Step by step, every place where a question's asked. Well, I see the first question he asks, Adam, where are you? And I'm like, is he trying to ask a geographical question when he's all-knowing? How can you be omniscient and create the garden and put him in the garden, but be asking him why he's in the garden, where is he? Well, that wouldn't make sense. So maybe layered underneath my thought, remember where we started? Where are you right now? Are you where God has you, or where life dropped you off and you settled? Well, Adam, you can't be where God has you if he's asking, where are you? You got to be where your decisions led you and you settled. This is so good. Okay, stay with me. Stay with me. One of the things I teach when talking to my clients, I only work with business owners who are using communication to scale their brands and their businesses. Because even if you're in real estate, even if you're investing, everything that you're going to do, you're going to have to leverage speaking for relationships, for brand building, for podcasts, et cetera. Like, So one of the things I explain to them is there should be no wasted words if you honor people. So if I said something in the beginning, every thought must stack on it. We don't waste words or waste time. Okay, so since we reference that, stay with me now. First question, Adam, where are you? Second question, listen to this. Who told you that? Because you're speaking a language I don't speak, you speak in lack. And I don't recognize that language. Second, who told you that? You are now using a form of communication that I never taught you because I don't speak that way. Now, here's what had to happen, bruh. It's like he having a family meeting, like I'm having a family meeting with y'all. God gotta be like, bruh, do you realize that your scarcity mindset has made you give up everything for one thing? Of all the trees you may freely eat, I told you you can't have. Now listen, if the whole world belongs to you, Adam, I told you you can't eat from the tree. I ain't say you can't create your own, but laziness makes you want what's mine instead of modeling what's mine to create yours. Go deeper, Marcus. Hey, what's that outfit you got on, Adam? Fig leaves. So you pulled from a living source that soon as you pull the leaves from the tree, they're dead. So now you're dressed in death. And every day you're going to need a new outfit. Isn't that just like people who spend money on clothes? That if Terica says I'm hosting an all-white event, it'll take you longer to buy the ticket than it will to plan your outfits. Because we care more about what we put on us than what we put in us. So the modern day fig leaves is the car. So when you think about making money, you start thinking about the car you're going to drive, the trip you're going to go on, the house you're going to live in. What you're thinking about is the stuff you're going to buy, fig leaves. Why do I say that? Mark Tucker, the average person in their lifetime will finance everything except their future. They'll finance a TV they won't keep forever. They'll finance a car that they won't keep forever. They'll finance trips that they go on for a weekend, but they don't finance investments that they can keep forever. Fig leaves. Most of us right now are watching me on a device you're making monthly payments on because we don't buy these cell phones full price. Yeah, just add to the plan, $37 a month, $11 a month, $20 a month, which means for our lifetime, we will finance everything except our future. Watch this real quick, cousins. Watch this. Watch this real quick. Terica, you tell me if I'm out of line. I know I'm almost out of time. You tell me if I can say this. I got to ask Terica permission because I got to say something real quick. I just got to ask permission before I'm not out of place. If you can hear me, sis, you might be taking a break real quick. You got to give me permission for this one. Okay. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I ain't going to say that. I'll just wait on Terica. It's okay. Here's my point. Now that we got all that out of the way, I got to get out of that. Where are you? Who told you that? Who told you that? Because now you're using a language. But here's my point. Anytime he got ready to challenge and change them, he did not make a statement. He asked a question. Because the human brain is made that way. Now that we got all that out the way, here's what I got to teach you. There is levels of increasing your net worth and becoming. I'm not promising you anything, but let's just say if becoming a millionaire is your goal. Now, when I talk about money, I'm not talking about money just for the sake of money. On my shirt is a trademark that I own called Stress-Free Millions. On my hat is a trademark I own, Work Out My Money. Here's what stress-free millions or wealth is for me so you can understand it before I teach this last part before I'm out of here. Wealth for me, this is Marcus's definition. This is your cousin, Marcus Waroja definition, is the ability to do what you love, help the people you love without asking your money, can you afford to? That's my definition. Susan Dugan, I don't know if that's that, if y'all couples or what, like, what's up, family? It's the ability to do what you love. So if I want to focus on my business, I can do that. If I want to do something nice for my family, I can do that without asking money, can I afford to? So if I want to, which I did, fly my brother into town, I don't have to ask my bank account, Can I afford to? When I got ready to send my father, who hasn't walked in 4.5 years, money to pay for his caregiver so he can have more care, because one of the times I went there, I'm gonna try to talk about this and not cry. I'm in touch with my emotions. I've been in therapy. I was one person that just couldn't cry for years. But I walked in and could smell. This is a very private moment, so like don't judge it. Could smell the urine because he has the urinal beside him, and times he can't get up, like he hasn't been able to walk. So it's a process to get up, even to go urine. And I could tell his embarrassment when his son walks in. And I said, "Dad, you all right?" So, "I'm sorry, son. I didn't know you was coming because I surprised him." I said, has your caregiver been up?" "Nah, I cut back her hours because financially it was a lot, so she had to get in the job." I didn't look at my bank account and ask it permission to do something for my dad, because wealth allows me to tell money what to do, not money to tell me what to do. So I don't bargain. I don't ask money, can I tell it this is what we're doing. If that's something that you want, let's talk about how to get there. We want to get there. So now we're not talking about money. We're talking about being an answer. Here we go. Here we go. Write this down. You are the CEO of your life and your finances. You are the CEO of your life and your finances. This is your new mindset before we build this out. And team, y'all let me know where I am with time. I got a little clock in here with me, but I don't know where you all are with time. And I want to.
You're good, man. It's your show.
Okay. You are the CEO of your life and your finances. What in the world does that mean? What in the world does that mean, the CEO of your life and your finances? Well, up until tonight, cousins, somebody else decided the life you lived and how much you made. Which means they were the CEO of your life and your finances. They were deciding for you. But starting tonight, we're going to decide. Because if you're not, what does a CEO do? They're thinking about the organization. By the time I work with CEOs, I had a contract before with Chick-fil-A in rural areas. When they decide to lay off y'all, it's not because they're not making money. It's because they predict in the future there will come a time that they're not. They're nowhere near the red. Which means they're sitting in a room making a decision about your life and your finances, what time you work, how long you work, how long you don't work, how long you work with the company in a room you're not in. So do you think that somebody's at the table with your best interest and says, "You know what, that Marcus, I bet he would love to take his family on vacation. We got to give him a raise." They're not thinking about that. That Sherry, man, she's a hard worker. You know what we ought to do? We ought to give her some extra so she can buy the house she wants. They're not thinking about us. There's not a room where somebody's making a decision with your time, your freedom, your family, your money, and your finances. So who has to be thinking about it? Us. You officially now, you're hired. You've been living your life unemployed where you have not been driving the car. You didn't decide the life you want to live and the money you want to make, so somebody decided for you. But as of this moment, you are the CEO of your life and your finances. Do y'all accept the role? Do y'all accept the role? Which means you better not be a no call, no show. You better not show up for yourself. You better not make a decision. You decide the life you want to live and the money you want to make, and you go after it. Every decision you make is based on that. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand what I'm telling you? Now, if you are the CEO of your life and your finances, watch this. Before now, someone decided what you can do with your time. You literally had to ask them permission to take off work to live your life. Ask them permission to spend time with your kids. I told y'all I had to ask to get off work to take a speaking engagement. Now, I didn't technically ask. I called them and said, "I'm sick. Lord, forgive me for lying. Forgive me for lying." I lied to them people. I couldn't afford for them to say no. Guess what? They also decide the money you make. All right. With that, and I gotta move. Can I show y'all something real quick? Now that you're the CEO of your life and your finances, you're gonna have to budget your life and your finances. Can I show you how to do it? Can I show you how to do it? Because if you give them permission to feed you, you give them permission to starve you. All right, let me go to my notes. Y'all see all my notes, all my good notes. All right, let's go here to this board. Hey, like, hold on, he been going this whole time without no notes. Hey, listen, it's a gift the Lord has given me. It's all up here, it's organized. Okay. Here we go. Can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see me? Okay, now you can see both. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Now, you are the CEO of your life plus finances. So every decision about the money you're going to make and the life you're going to live, finances, okay, I spelled that wrong. There we go. Every decision about the life you live, so life over here, and the money you make is your decisions. Does that make sense for everybody? Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. We're going to do some math really quick, so I'll show you how to do it. But we have to build the premise of this, and I'm done. Is anybody faith-based in here? Okay, cool. Cousins. Y'all really my cousins. Okay. So here's what you have to understand as a basic principle to understand what I'm going to teach you. God, as the ultimate investor, please listen to my anchor. God is an investor. If you don't understand this, then you miss out on the whole thing. So much so, Shirley, when Jesus is giving a parable in Matthew 25, he's explaining to you how God feels about waste. When he tells the story about the talents, the one with 1, 2, and 5, he's not talking about skill and ability, he's talking about money. That word talent deals with money. The reason why the story is so drastic is because he says, and a certain man, a master, went to a far land. He's talking about a man who owns people who shouldn't give them nothing. Gives them something they don't deserve, 1, 2, 5. And here's what he says. They are each supposed to multiply what they have. The one with 1 has a broke mindset, so he buried what he had and wouldn't invest it. So the whole story is about how God feels about whatever I give you, multiply it and double it. And if you don't, I'll take that from you. It's a made-up story that Jesus gave as a parable about how the Father feels about not multiplying what you have and invested. Now, here's my big point. If God is an investor and he expects a return on investment, how did God, for everybody in this room, give an investment into each of us? Come here, investors. He started every one of us out, so none of us got excused. Mark, it's easy for you to say. No, it's not. All of us have the same investment from God. Watch this. Marcus, how you become a millionaire? Terica, how you become a millionaire? We all had the same investment for God. What is that? 168 hours in a week. Here we go. Here go the math. That's the life part. I'm going to give all of them 168 hours. So you mean to tell me Oprah don't have more than that? Nope. You mean to tell me that Jeff Bezos don't have more than 168? Nope. You mean to tell me that all them billionaires only have 168 hours? Yep. Because that's the startup capital for humanity. Well, what are we going to do to get on this side of the quadrant to make more money? Well, here's how the whole system works. If you don't have the money you need, here's what you can do. Since it's capital I gave you, you could sell 40 hours for the amount that's printed on a paycheck. You're going to have 128 hours left. Now, this is the life side. So if you sold the 40, notice what I said. Watch this, y'all. You sold 40. Why? Them people didn't make you work there. You took from your startup capital given from God and you sold them 40 for the amount printed on the paycheck. It's a good deal if it's the money you want to make. It's a bad deal if it's not the money you want to make, and it's an even worse deal if you sell 40 and you spend 128 hours complaining about the 40. Now you got 128 unpaid hours. Good gracious alive. So you sold them 40 hours. Marcus, how could you word it as sold them 40 hours? Because you own your life. They don't own your life. You're the CEO of your life and finance. Here's a big point. We got to end this thing. Watch this. The job can determine how much they're willing to pay you. They can't determine how much you make. Why? You still got 128 hours. They could tell me they're going to pay me 40. Cool. I'm going to do something else with the 128. That's the most you're gonna give me for my 40 hours? Cool. Watch what I do with the 128. Now watch this, family. Marcus, keep cooking. Keep cooking. Pamela says she get it. Anybody else who gets this math real quick? This is life math. Nobody ever taught us this. Say, I get it. Say, I get it. Nobody ever taught you life math. Nobody ever taught you life math. This is life math. 168 hours, we sold 40. Uh-oh. Now watch what we do with the 128. I know what you're thinking. I got kids. I got family. I got to sleep 8 hours. I got to drive to work. Deduct it from the 128. Manage the time like a paycheck, because that's the only capital you get. Now, here's what you do. From the 128, let's just do some easy math. How much of this are we going to invest to learn a new skill or to learn information? Somebody tell me their number. How much of this? How much of the 128? Tell me in the chat. All of it? Y'all don't need no sleep, no rest, no nothing? Come on, pick a real number. Don't play with me. 50, 65, 30. Love it. Write it down. Hold yourself accountable to it. Don't be a no call, no show. 40. Love it. So some of you, let's just take 40. Said you're going to invest 40 hours to learn information and skill. Now watch this. Watch this, Linda. Linda, listen, Linda. Okay. So if you're going to do that, watch this. This is going to be really good math. So if I sold 40 hours for the amount printed on a paycheck, guess what I got now? Sherry, this is going to make all the sense in the world. I can take a percentage of the money I made and invest that into assets. I can take a percentage of the time I have and invest that into skill and information and assets. Why do I need to invest into info and skill? Don't let me lose you. When I invest a percentage of my time into info and skill, I become an asset. When I invest a percentage of the money I made from the time I sold, I purchase assets. Okay. One more time. Let's try it again. See the whole picture. 128 hours in my week. I sold 40 for a paycheck. I took a percentage of the paycheck and invested it into assets, houses, stocks, things that generates revenue. Guess what? It's working for me while I'm still at work. Now, when I get off work, I'm going to invest a percentage of my time into skills and info. So I'm becoming an asset. Now, watch this, y'all. Do y'all get the picture? I'm buying assets with money that I'm making. I'm becoming an asset with time that I'm investing. Get it? When my assets make enough money and when I become a big enough asset, guess what I do? I go back to the job that I was selling 40 hours and say, give me my 40 hours back. All my time is mine. Because now I'm an asset and I own assets. And until I do that, I got to keep selling you the time. I'm at a place in life now where it would cost me money to go to work. To get a job would cost me money. So when I made enough, I told Florida State, all 168 is mine again. Woo! Everybody type in the chat, I'm giving myself a raise. I'm giving myself a raise. Type it in the chat, I'm giving myself a raise. Type it in the chat, I'm giving myself a raise. I'm giving myself a raise. I'm giving myself a raise. Family, I'm done. I got a whole lot more to share, but I'm out of time because this is not my stage. But here's what I will share. If we was in church, they'd play the organ right now. And they'll say, rest on your feet. Ain't no such thing, Reverend, as resting on my feet. My rest is me sitting down. But here's my big point. Did y'all get value out of this tonight? Over 15 years ago, I sat on a couch across from my father in Tallahassee, Florida, and my mother, with fear in the pit of my stomach, wondering how I was going to survive. I'm talking about George Foreman Grill at my house. I don't know if y'all remember the George Foreman Grill, where all I could afford was bread, great value turkey burgers, and ramen noodles. Cost me less than $5 for my whole grocery bill. I would dig through those bins at Walmart to get DVDs because my cable was turned off. So that's why I memorized every Martin, every like shows, because I had no cable. I remember my lights being turned off and I didn't get paid for another month working at a school at that time. So I would pretend that I was falling asleep at my brother's house just so I could be somewhere where I had lights and where it wasn't cold because I couldn't turn the heat on. I remember wondering and praying, will I ever make enough to pay all my bills in the same month? And I also remember having visions of me being in a position at some point in my life that I had more than what I had at the time. I realized that it was never about $11.37. And it's also not about the millions of dollars. It's not about the people we help, the clients we work with. It's not about the businesses that we help people build. It's not about the marketing systems we build for our clients. It's not about the skill of speaking and sales and the things that we do. It's not about none of that stuff. It's not about cars. It's not about houses. It's not about none of that. I realized my videographer asked me a question yesterday because he was filming me at the closing for this. The lady said, "Hey, what you bought isn't a house. It's an estate. It's an acre in the backyard. My basement, 4,000 square foot, not including the house." And I'm looking at this and thinking back to all of this, and I'm processing, like, how did I get here? And he said, he's filming, he's like, what would you say to somebody who's asking you, how did you get here? I said, the hardest thing I ever did was believe in me. Making the money was easy. Making it out of my head and making it out of my heart was the hardest thing. To believe that I was somebody that somebody would pay. To believe that I was someone that I should invest in. Because whenever I pictured money, I pictured buying things from people, not investing money in me, which said I valued the Lamborghini more than I valued me. If when you picture wealth, you don't see you in it, you don't see you as valuable yet. If when you picture millions, you're picturing what you're going to buy, you think the things you buy are more valuable than you. Your cousin is here to tell you that the most valuable thing in the world is you. There is nothing more valuable than you. You are an asset and you purchase assets. And if you go the rest of your life and you finance and you pay for and you make payments on things, but you don't look at your life and realize that you realize, hey, are you a part of your bills? Are you a part of your investment strategy to make sure you good? Are you hear what I'm telling you? I challenge you to not play life Monopoly. I'm going to see y'all again. It's May 7th. By the time I see you again, hopefully I get a chance to come in June. I don't know. I might have went too long. You better not be in the same place you were, because I started by asking you, where are you? My question to you is not just where you are. Where will you be 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now? Guess what? Your decisions will choose that. Your decisions will choose that. You will either spoil or mistreat yourself in the future by a decision you make today. How are you going to treat you? You are either going to spoil or mistreat yourself by the decision you make today. How are you going to treat you? Will you promise me that you'll treat your future self better? Will y'all promise me that? I love y'all to life. I'm your cousin, Marcus Rosia. I'll see y'all in a minute. Who up next?
Let's go, man. I told you I wasn't lying that this dude knows how to speak. Anybody find yourself during that conversation just being like, why didn't I think of that before? Like, Marcus, man, why are you calling me out like that? So everybody give it up for Marcus. Marcus, thank you so much for coming on the summit, man. We appreciate you. Everybody give Marcus his flowers in the chat real quick. Just put thank you and let us know what your biggest takeaway was from that conversation. Let them know in the chat what was your, actually, let me read off some. What was your biggest aha moment during that moment? Let me see. Let me see what your biggest takeaway. Somebody said my biggest takeaway was that I have real tears flowing right now. Whoo, Carly, let's go. Pam says, I just need to believe in myself, invest in myself. Latasha says, selling your hours. Ooh, Lisa, I see you. Man, I'm an asset and I buy assets, Gina. I love it. I love it. He's so real. For me, you all, what I love is just how he framed choices. Anybody else, just let me know how he framed how you make choices and the conversation around him just changing his habits and changing his choices that led to a brighter future for his health, his business. That was one of my favorites. So listen, I just want to say congratulations to those of you all here tonight who made that decision. You made the choice tonight already, and you said, you know what? I'm changing tonight. I'm doing something different. Tonight, I'm not staying the same. I'm going to implement what Marcus is saying, and I'm going to go invest in myself. I'm going to go make the right choice. And I also want to congratulate those of you all that already jumped into the challenge. There's been many of you all while Marcus was talking and even before then that jumped in. We just want to say congratulations. Everybody say congrats to everybody who went in and joined the 5-day property challenge. We had Stacy jump in recently, Cassandra, uh, Mr. Sinclair, Anna. We had so many people jump in and say, you know what, I'm taking that leap. So if you're here and you feel like, yo, I'm ready to go all in, Terica, you're teaching, you taught me what it looks like to get started in real estate. Marcus, you kind of reframe my mind around why I need to take this urgent action. We would love to have you in the challenge, regardless of what ticket type you get in, y'all. Listen, we would love to have you at Titanium. Titanium is the highest ticket level where you get the most. But listen, get in where you can, plug in where you can, because this next 30 to 60 days can be a 180 for you. And team, I want to see if I want to bring up somebody in the room real quick. I'm going to bring in, let me see who we got in the room with us because I think it's important that you see what these challenges can do. Is Carlos and Rebecca Miller in the room? I don't know if they're still with us. I don't know if they've left. I know it's been a while. What's up? What's up, fam? Listen, I want the Millers to talk about the power of these challenges and what happens when you lock in and you make that choice. And so everybody say, what's up, Millers? What's up? What's up? They came, I think you just went through the February challenge we had. Is that right? You guys just came through the February challenge?
Yep. We just got out of the challenge. It was amazing. It was wonderful. So much valuable information. And honestly, y'all, it equips you. It equips you.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about it because they're fresh. They just went through. We only do about 2 of these a year. So there's some people that are asking, "Hey, when is the next one?" The next one's not going to be till 2027. That's so weird to say. 2027. So we only do it. They just came off our last one. So they came in, went through the challenge. They ended up joining our circle of investors. So I just want to shout you guys out for taking massive action on that. But let's talk about where you were before the challenge. Like, did you have any real estate experience? What was your journey to real estate or with real estate before the challenge? And talk about what some of the things you learned and some of the takeaways were from the challenge.
Absolutely. So, we became accidental investors. Both of our parents, my dad has memory loss, and my husband's mom has memory loss as well. So I really resonated with Marcus's story. And so we moved Carlos's mom here from New Jersey to Cleveland, and we ended up buying a duplex so that his sister and his mom could live, upstairs, downstairs, and help her kind of navigate life. And that really fell through, how doing business and family sometimes works, but we still ended up flipping it around as an investment property, and we learned so much, y'all. We did get some haircuts. So when Coach T talks about haircuts, we definitely got the haircuts. We had some issues with the utilities not being split and all types of things, which is really important. And so, if I would have had this challenge before we made that investment, we would have saved so much money. But now, knowing what we know now, it has definitely also given us that experience and wisdom to be able to know how to talk to people, know what we're looking for, especially in that due diligence process. And so when we got into the challenge, I would tell you that for all levels, even if you have experience, you can and will learn so much information. So we found it completely invaluable. And my husband, he ended up just joining into real estate because that was something, I felt like the Lord was calling me to do, just for many years. And so we started to take it seriously. And he was kind of ear hustling in when she was doing the buying income summit before I joined the property challenge, and I had already bought my ticket. So he was like, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and join. So he ended up buying a ticket just from listening in when I was actually attending some of the initial seminars.
Yeah, I
Love
think
it. So you
one thing.
even went through the, oh, sorry, I was gonna say you were even attending the Buying Income Summit just like this one. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say the one thing that I'd add to that is for us, it's been a spiritual decision. So I don't know if everyone else is gonna fall into that same bucket, but I think that this is something that the Lord showed us. One, it's something we need to learn more about, but also like two, this is the community He wanted us to be a part of, and that put us in a different headspace about it because it wasn't about how much money is this going to cost or how long is this going to take. It was, all right, Lord, if you're trying to lead me to go somewhere or do something, do I trust that you're leading me the right way, because I could go and take this money and spend it somewhere else. I could go and take this time and spend it somewhere else. But when my wife brought this up to me, I was like, all right, either she's deceived or she's right. Like the Lord through her is right. And so if the Lord through her is right, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, then, let's do it. And, we're still like going through, we're still learning. But I think that just to end where I started, like it was really a spiritual decision for us. And it's really, that's the most significant part about it. Like this was not just a financial decision. This wasn't like a get rich quick decision. This wasn't a, oh, let's go make some money. This was, all right, Lord, if this is the community you want us to be a part of, let's dive in 100% and learn as much as we can. And then whatever happens, happens because we have to believe that He's not going to leave us or forsake us.
I love it. I love it. And I think there's several other people, they made that decision because of the same reasons, right? I see a lot of people saying yes in the chat, same here. But one thing I think, I don't even think we know, we try to structure the challenge in a way, and I don't know if you noticed this with you all, but our goal is that we always start off our challenges because there's some people here, you're like, man, well, I see a return, and you're just very analytical in your mind. Because I know it, I'm not analytical, but I know there's some people here. We try to structure the challenges in a way where within the first day or two, you go find cash flow, right? What do you mean, Michael? Go find cash flow. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but we always help you at the very beginning of the challenge. We help you audit your finances and figure out where the gaps are. We've had some people come through and realize, oh, dang, I didn't know I was paying for this. Oh, I didn't know I could switch this way to save $300 a month, $500 a month, right? So there's so many different things we do in the challenge to help you position yourself in a better way. But I love that you guys came in with a different mindset. It wasn't all about let's go get rich. I'm doing this for a legacy. I'm doing this because this is a spiritual thing for me as well, and I love that. But I also, because I saw somebody in the chat was asking privately about, why I make my money back. Listen, we're going to help you audit your finances, do some of these things to help you become aware. We've had people come in and they say, man, this challenge was worth so much more than what I paid because you guys helped me restructure my finances. So it's not just real estate investing. We're helping you guys like really step into a new financial future. So for the Millers, though, going back to your conversation, what would be one piece of advice you would give to people that are here and they're like, man, I'm about to join that challenge. I'm thinking about it. What would be just one piece of advice you would give them?
I would say have faith. And that's the main thing. If you know that the Lord is leading you and guiding you in this direction, you have to trust Him. And, if you need to pray, I do believe, help me with my unbelief every day that you're in this challenge, then do that because He will show up. And again, our God is a God of His word. And so, regardless of how we feel, His word will not return back void. It will always come to pass. And so he also uses us as tools and vessels. So, as much as we are able to submit to the voice of God and the Holy Spirit and allow him to use us, then he will show forth his favor and glory and work miracles, right? But remember, Jesus was greatly grieved because he said they did not have faith. So, he wasn't able to do many wonders in that area and in that location and land. So, it's vital that you have faith. It is extremely important because it gets him to move.
Yeah, and the only thing that I'd add to that, like it's beautiful having a wife, y'all. You finds a wife, finds a good thing. I just want to balance out what she said, and I know I'm kind of blinking out on the screen, so I apologize. But I just want to balance what she said with like she just talked about like the love aspect of it, but I also think there's a fear aspect to it
Mm,
because when you think about like the Israelites wandering around in the desert, they had a whole generation. They literally got to spy out the promised land. They had a whole generation. And they said, no, we're not going to go in, because we don't want our children, we don't want our wives to be a prey. And
mm,
so the Lord literally showed them like what he wanted to give them,
mhm,
but they didn't have the faith to take it because they saw giants in the land.
mm,
So for us, like just being real, like we were like, all right, this like time commitment and this money commitment is a giant. Like,
mm,
why would we do this? Like this, we trying to get financially stable. Like this isn't gonna make us more financially stable if we're thinking about it in the short term.
mhm, mhm,
But the Israelites were thinking about it in the short term. And so they had to wander around for 40 years
mm,
and they still couldn't get in.
mm.
And if you like read Numbers, they tried to enter in the next day and the Lord wouldn't let them.
Right.
So it's really like a balance of like, all right, wow, we trust that the Lord's going to protect us and take us through because of his love, but there's also a fear of like, all right, Lord,
Mm,
if
mhm,
you are giving us this opportunity and we've prayed about it, we fasted about it, this is something you want us to do, and then we don't do it,
mhm.
what's going to happen?
That's right.
And that's not a chance that like I wanted to take as a husband. So when my wife like brought this to me, I'm like, all right, we really got to have some conversations about this and make sure that this is what the Lord wants us to do. And if it is, then we're going to do it full force.
Yeah, and that fear is extremely important to be able to have wisdom, right? Because he says that, wisdom is the beginning, right? So you have to have that fear first in order to receive the wisdom. So it's essential. You can't think clearly unless you fear God. You can't make wise decisions unless you fear God. So faith and fear go together like bread and butter.
Man, I think they could just preach for us tonight, y'all. We gonna bring this is special guest session number 2 right after Marcus. We gonna give you guys an hour. I love it. No, have faith, and I love what you were talking about. How you're gonna have the fear. But what I'm gonna say is, I love what you said about the short term versus the long term.
Yeah.
Right? Is like, how are we looking at this scenario? Right? How are we looking at this investment in ourselves? Are we looking at it just for the short term? Are we looking at it for the long term and what the fruit is going to be, right? And so everybody give it up for the Millers in the chat. I love just that new perspectives. I see Britt was putting in the chat, amen, let's go. So everybody just put some love in the chat. You'll maybe be able to come see them. We may have to bring them back, Britt. We may have to bring them back for the challenge a little bit. But thank you guys so much for staying on so late. We appreciate you for being on here. And again, appreciate you for going through the challenge and jumping in and investing in yourself. So we appreciate you. But y'all, this is phenomenal. I just love it. Like this is a perfect way to end the night. We could just drop the mic and go home now. But I just want to say if that's you and you're like, hey, I'm ready to take that leap. I'm ready to jump in. The link is in the chat if you want to join us. This is going to be for some of you all. For others, it won't be. You're like, Michael, who is this for and who is it not for? This is for people who can go on a sprint with us for 5 days. Now, you may say, Michael, 5 days, that's a lot. It's not all day, every day. It's just in the evenings. It's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're just asking you in June just to block out 5 days. If you work the night shift, we got the replays available. But if you're willing to go on a 5 day sprint with us to really overhaul your finances and step into a place where you could start your real estate investing journey, then this is for you. It's not for you if you're here and you want to make $1,000, $20,000 tomorrow. This isn't for you. This isn't for you if you're here and you're scared and well, let me say, there's a lot of people that invest when they're scared, but you're here and you're not going to take action, right? We want people to jump in that are going to be willing and be coachable, who are going to come to Terica and say, Terica, all right, I invested. I'm going to do this. So if you're here and you feel like, you know what, I'm willing to be coachable, because listen, we've had people come in and they weren't coachable. Like they say, well, why would I do that? I'm not going to do that. Don't be that person. Show up, invest in yourself today, be coachable tomorrow, and see what happens. See what happens. So jump in with us. You can go to thepropertychallenge.com. Shout out to Miss Sharma, who just got titanium. Congratulations. Congratulations. Tiff Foster jumped in. I love it. And somebody says, can you upgrade later? Yes, you can upgrade later. So if you need to start out at the $97 general admission, or you need to start out at the VIP or platinum and you want to upgrade later, you definitely can. What I would say is most important is just getting in the room, get your foot in the door. Because even at the 97, the 297, you're still getting 5 days of training. Yes, you may not get all the fancy bells and whistles, the extra bonuses, but you're getting in the room and you're learning for 5 days. You're learning, you're getting mentored, which is what matters. So you can upgrade later 100%. We got you. So I saw your messages about it. Now, I'm gonna bring up one more person to end out the night, and then we're gonna close. Loretta says, I've been trying, but it's just buffering. If you need help, you all, you can email info@tericalinsmith.com. That's if you have questions, info@tericalinsmith.com. All right. So if you guys want to go there, you can go ahead and do so to email us and get the help you need. All right. So info@tericalinsmith.com. But I'm going to bring up one person. I won't keep her long because Miss Oates is in the room. She's like, "What? What's up?" And I'm excited because I get to interview her. It seems like every few weeks, maybe it's not that often, but I get to interview her and bring her up, and she's just phenomenal. Who you're looking at right here actually went through the property challenge as well. Went through the property challenge and said, "You know what? I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to jump in." And she is actually an owner of some properties herself. I think she has an Airbnb. I'm gonna let her share her story. Maybe she's working on more, I heard. I'm gonna let her share. So, Miss Darlene, welcome in. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the crowd. Give us a quick rundown about who you are and kind of just your property challenge experience.
Well, first of all, I want to say hi to everybody. I am so excited for you. I am what you call a Psycho 5. So I came in 2024. I've been around for a long time. I ain't going nowhere. Coach T cannot get rid of me. Coach D cannot get rid of me. They don't want to get rid of me, but I'm just saying. Um, Michael, it is such a pleasure to see you again, my friend, as always. Yeah, I came in just like everybody else. My husband and I had been following Terica. The Lord led us to her. And so we were following her online. So for some reason, she kept popping up in our feed and we would keep watching her. And we were like, the Lord is leading us to this lady. Well, we joined up with another group, and guess who was speaking? Guess who was speaking at that group? Terica. And then we were like, oh my God, this is confirmation. This is God. And then guess what happened? After she finished speaking, she sat at our table, and we were like, Abba, 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 Abba. We couldn't even talk. We were just like so overwhelmed that we would see, and we kept bumping into her alone, and we couldn't even talk. We were starstruck. But the opportunity came up for the property challenge, and we came in hard, ready to go. Because when God sends you somewhere, you go not only with willingness, but with enthusiasm. So we came in titanium. Listen, investing in yourself, there is no deficit. Okay. And my husband and I went through the entire program. We stayed on, we became ambassadors. It's fantastic. But the big deal, so let me tell you the big deal, okay? So the big deal is we came in with 0 doors and we walked out with 104 doors.
Wow.
Then we had a conversation with Terica. Because when you come in titanium, when you come in and you're ready to go, you have access to her. So we asked a few questions. We just inherited a property from the grandma. We don't know what to do with it. Terica gave us the blueprint. We are now the owners of a 5-star Airbnb. She told us what to do. We did what she told us to do. And there you go. And we just recently acquired another piece of land. So rinse and repeat. That's all I can say. Listen, you're doing the right thing. Invest in yourselves. Um, we are a group of investors who invest with one another and have the privilege of investing with Terica as well. And I'm blessed to be able to say that I'm invested with her. My husband and I are invested with Terica and the team. They love us. We love them. We're family. And this is rare. You're not going to find this everywhere. Am I right, Michael? Am I talking right?
I'm right, and what she's built is really phenomenal because this is a program I tell people all the time, like the programs she builds aren't just
Mm,
random thrown together programs.
no.
Well thought out. She
Yeah.
makes sure that she puts a 100% effort between herself and the team into it. Because you may have attended events before and you're just like, oh, that this wasn't that good or this wasn't, there was a bunch of fluff. No, 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 no. You jump in, you're getting your value worth, right? And so I love
More
it, darling.
than.
Yeah, I love it. And
More than.
congratulations on the new land, the new property. And I love everybody just put congrats in the chat. She's phenomenal. And one thing I love about Darlene though is she's not afraid to take action, right? She can
No.
come she can come take this information and just sit on it, but she doesn't, right? And so Darlene, what would you say to the people because we're going to close up for the night, but what would you say as you're like this is one of the last words for the night, right? What would you just say to people that are here? They stayed for man, we've been on here for almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Boom, mind-boggling, right? What would you say to them, those people that they're here, that they're trying to make that decision and they're just like, man, Darlene, this sounds good, but, and they keep using that but word, right?
The
What
but,
would
yeah.
you tell them?
Yeah. First of all, let me tell you all that I was a real estate agent for 20 years. And what I learned with Terica does not compare to what I was not taught as a realtor. Okay? Professional realtor, 20 years. And I had to step out of that to walk with Terica. And she taught me how to be an investor, how to think like an investor, how to calculate, how to do formulas, how to run numbers. And I didn't learn any of that while I was a real estate agent. How interesting. I would say to you, this is an opportunity. I've been looking for an opportunity for a good portion of my life. And when my husband and I stepped into this commitment, because for us, it's a commitment for life. We have no intentions of going anywhere. Sorry, you can't get rid of us. We're here. I would say to you, take this opportunity, think about where you want to be, think about the legacy that you want to build for your children, for your family, and then don't hesitate. Just go for it.
I love it. Everybody say thank you, Darlene. Thank you for coming in. You're always an amazing energy and amazing light. I love what you said, Darlene, about how this is like a lifestyle for you now, right? It's not like a one-time decision. It's like, hey, I'm an investor. I created a new identity. Not even
Yeah.
created. I adopted a new identity for myself. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for those kind words and encouraging words. But y'all, I'm excited to see Darlene. She's gonna be at like 500 doors in the next year or two. She's gonna be
Yeah.
like 500 to 1,000 doors. So Darlene, congratulations ahead of time and excited to see you keep growing.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Darlene. So y'all, listen, this wraps up the night. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, we have a day 2 tomorrow. We have at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Terica coming back for another lesson, plus some guest speakers. So make sure you're in the room for that. We're gonna come back, and somebody said, "Can I purchase the challenge ticket after tonight?" Yes, you can purchase it in just a little bit. So if you have to hop off the the call and go take care of that, you can go do that. But make sure that you all are jumping in and taking advantage of the opportunity because you all, I don't want you to look back later and be like, "Man, I wish I would have. I wish that wasn't that. I wish I did that. I wish I would have invested. I wish I would have done this sooner." Right? Don't let yourself be that person that said, "I wish I would have." right? Last thing you want is to get 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road and say, man, I regret not betting on myself. So you can go to thepropertychallenge.com to jump in, and you can jump in with us. We'd love to have you. If you have any questions, you can email info@terica.lynnsmith.com. But y'all, we'll send you the reminders for tomorrow. Thank you for being here for day number 1. Don't forget to share your takeaways in the Facebook group. We're going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow at the very beginning to start off day 2. So make sure you're on time with your camera on, because I'm doing a giveaway for somebody who goes and shares a takeaway in the Facebook group. But I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Team, let's go ahead. I think we have a video to play. Let's go ahead and play that video and let's close on out. Let's go.
Hey, stop the scrolling right now. Have you heard the news? You could be walking out of PC Live 2026 with an investment property. That's right. One lucky individual will be walking out of PC Live 2026 with an investment property. My name is Terica Lynn Smith, and I started with one property. $5,000 my tax return. I had no handouts. The banks didn't give me any loans. I had to do this from scratch. I know how hard it can be to get started in real estate investing and not have all the tools that you need. PC Live is not like no other conference. Everybody this year at PC Live is leaving with something. It's either a deal, a door, or direction. My one property changed my life. It took me from being homeless up under a bridge as a teenage mom to a kingdom-made millionaire. So if that is you, if you're in a bind right now, you feel like you're stuck right now, you feel like you're in a box right now, and when you start talking about wealth, people start looking at you crazy. My God, I never want to be in a room where you're not. Jesus. This is the time for you to get up and leave that environment and go to a place where people are having conversations about goals, conversations about God, and conversations about growth. This year in 2026, we are focusing and being very intentional about the people that's going to be in this room. This year, we're doing it even bigger. We're not just giving away a property. I am looking for my next business partner. I am looking for someone who has a real estate deal and they need capital. Sign up for the Property Challenge Live Conference. Every ticket tier includes a ticket to be able to enter the drawing for the house giveaway. Of course, there's conferences all around the world that you can attend, but this conference is making sure that every single attendee leaves with something. Either way, I want to see you in the room. PC Live 2026 starts July 30th to August 2nd. Can't wait to see you. Let's go.
Additional terms and conditions apply. Results are not guaranteed.